On tonight's episode of the Gamecasters, we talk about some new games we've been playing recently. Natalie has a new segment for us, and then we end the show with our top 5 resolutions for 2021. Stay tuned. Gamers, and welcome to episode 58 of the Gamecasters. A new year is finally upon us. 2020 was like the latest season of the show Earth that severely jumped the shark. Nobody on Omicron Persei 8 will believe this nonsense after the boredom of the 2019 season. The budget was increased as there were tons of special effects used, like when all of Australia burned to ash, or Beirut literally exploded. There was lots of shock when one of the show's main characters, Kobe Bryant, was killed amidst the season-long arc of the mass pandemic. The hotly contested American presidency really caught viewers off guard after the mid-season episodes where racial tensions peaked. Season 2021 has a lot to live up to, and if we don't watch it, we will be canceled. I think the showrunners really need to dial it back because they're starting to write themselves into a corner. The only thing you can rely on this new year is the Gamecasters podcast. We're still here, producing the same low-level content you've come to expect, and we will be here for years to come, or until Jeff gets bored. So what happened since the last episode? Christmas came, New Year's came, Natalie unfortunately didn't. We're at the tail end of our winter break. Work starts tomorrow. Life is ready to suck again. Natalie and I are through almost 6 seasons of Shameless, which is really just a show, where horrible people slam into each other's naked bodies. Yep. Seriously, I don't know have you seen any of that show?
Just season 1.
Every sex scene is just pounding and slapping. Nobody makes love in that show. Everybody just fucks. But every time I see it in my head, I'm like, you don't always have to fuck her hard. In fact, sometimes that's not right to do. Every time. I'm like, why you, man, you're just pounding her. Ow. So what's been up with you guys?
Man. Well, there's that adult content sticker on the front of this episode again.
That's like The Office. What'd I tell you about that bleep button?
Yeah. Were you inspired by that 2020 is Dead?
Yes. We watched this, what was it, like a mockumentary?
Yeah, it was like a mockumentary.
Was it on Netflix? Yeah. Where was it? I'm surprised.
It was on Netflix. It's called 2020 is Dead, I think. And it's like supposed to be like this documentary, like
everything that happened in 2020.
Reliving everything. But like it's all these celebrities who are like pretending, like Samuel Jackson is supposed to be like a New York Post reporter.
Yeah, Hugh Grant is like some
like historian.
Yeah, historian.
But like
random. I haven't seen it.
It's pretty good. Okay. You should watch it. I think you would like it.
It's like supposed
is it just a couple hours or is it episodes?
It's like
it's like an hour long one shot thing. Yeah. But it's pretty funny.
What's it called? 2020
is dead.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
But it's really funny because, like I said, it goes through everything.
Right. Yeah. Like it starts off with like,
as
the
if it
Australian
was like
fires
100 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Well, it does feel like
that happened.
Man, that was a long year.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's the same amount of every other year.
And
but
so many historic things happened in this.
So many.
Like the Gamecasters surging into number 11 in the Philippines.
The Gamecasters' 50th episode.
The 50th episode only comes around once every 50
Thanks, Sergio. You the man.
Sergio.
Thanks for taking all
Sergio
of your
just hits the download
devices
over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Boom.
Do you remember when I did one of the intros in Filipino?
Yes, I do remember that. And people were impressed.
Yeah, except Sergio.
Yeah.
He wrote back and he's like, my dad listened to that and he was like, this stupid American.
Fine job.
I think he was like laughing the whole time.
Yeah, he was laughing because a lot of it was just, well, he didn't tell me there was a certain way I should have pronounced a certain vowel, and so it was just all muddled and it's crazy. But it was some funny stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's up with you, Jeff?
I don't know. Yeah,
You
Christmas,
got some
New Year's
thing going on.
Yes, I've been working on my basement. So I had 2 weeks off for Christmas break or winter break, and started working on the new game room / finishing the basement. So we have like a ranch. It's and so half of the basement we're finishing.
Like Michael Jackson?
Like a whole ranch. Yeah, like a ranch house. And so we wanted to finish a big portion of that basement to just have extra living space. Space for Jack to put his toys down there and play, and then a spot for me to put my toys down there and play.
Yep. And Devin to put her
and
toys down there and play.
For Jack and Devin.
Yeah, that's gonna be the secret door in the back. Like, where the rest of your basement go? Don't worry about it.
Oh my god.
So I'm really excited about that. So have done insulation on the outside walls and started to do the framing of the basement. So both my brothers have come over and helped. My dad has stopped by and told us things that we're doing wrong, of course. And just like, isn't that what,
Without
it's just
lifting a
like,
finger?
Yeah.
Not a finger.
Why don't you do this? I'm like, well, no. Okay. So then,
You're gonna help, then you
yeah,
can do it.
yeah.
Why don't you just put a habit trail from down here to upstairs?
Yeah. So I'm really excited. So once we do framing, then I'm going to do the installation, and then I'm going to stop and I'm going to hire people to kind of do the finishing touches.
Yeah,
there.
that's the way.
And
do the part.
yeah. So I'm really excited. I can start to see an end. Right. I'm like, all right, cool.
That's
The games can come
very
downstairs. I'm like planning for all these things. So I'm really.
We can have another. We can have another place
Yes.
to have game days.
Exactly. And I don't have. It's not like Dave's basement. That's like two
nothing
houses.
is like
Yeah,
Dave's basement.
Dave's is massive, but it can be a dedicated area to play games, whether it's like a nerd fest or a mini nerd fest or just like a day of after we go to Gen Con, like, hey, if we come over next weekend, we'll play some Gen Con
play
games.
some
Yeah,
games.
I'm very excited. I'm pumped.
It's fun
for the
to have a
whole-
space. It's
Yeah.
fun to have a space.
It's like
we have a
separate than
finished
your normal
basement,
living.
Exactly.
and it's just fun to be down here with all the stuff and be able to play. So that's
I'm
cool.
pumped about that.
Awesome. Natalie's dad bought us a giant diseased garden penis.
Oh, interesting.
We should show it to you.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be the thumbnail of this episode.
Yeah.
No, we'll get canceled and banned.
Oh, boy.
He brought. Oh, you tell the story.
Yeah, he's like, he brought me a gift for Christmas, and it said James family, and he's like, oh, it's like for all of you. So
Gross.
I opened it up, and it's just like this giant, like,
You can
I
use
don't
it. You can use it.
I don't
Anybody.
know what it was made out of cement or something. I just like opened it, and he was like, do you know what it is? I'm like, it looks.
I think so.
I was like, it looks like a
I've seen one.
mushroom, and he's like, yeah, it is a mushroom. It's a garden mushroom. You put it in your garden. I thought it looked so cool.
No.
Nope.
I need to go back. We need to go back. He brought it to you not knowing that's what it looked like?
No, he did.
He was like,
Oh.
just kind of like, what do you think? it
Oh,
is?
okay. All right.
Like,
he
yeah.
wasn't
Well,
like completely
you should
ignorant
see
to the whole
it.
thing. He
It's
knows.
not-
All right.
it's
So this
not
is a
like
joke.
it's
Okay.
not like
Oh no, I don't think he. No,
No, he thought it was awesome.
he thought it was
No.
like, yeah.
This is
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm asking. He gave you this not thinking that this was a penis.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
he did tell me that it was kind of phallic.
He did.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
All right. So he got you
Because
a.
it's
When
not-
Lexi's in the garden for an hour staring at it, I'm gonna throw that away.
It's not like a mushroom like you picture in your head that like grows in your backyard. It's like one of the ones with
It's a
like,
morel mushroom.
Yeah, with like the
Yeah.
holes.
Yeah, it looks like a diseased penis.
Okay.
It looks like a penis that got.
So he thinks it looks cool as a mushroom.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Ryan, he found it at Eastern Market and thought it was so cool.
It looks like a penis that was like, touring Vietnam for like a year and
Because
just
Ryan
like.
was at the post office when he stopped by, and then he was gone when Ryan came back. And Ryan walks in and is sitting on the counter. He's like, "What the hell is that?" And I was
Like, trying to tell me
"Oh,
something,
yeah."
babe?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Now,
Dad gave
so
it-
Slice
Natalie,
it up.
Natalie put it outside, but she put it outside on the table on the deck, so you see it every time you're at the sink doing the dishes or washing your hands. It's just like right there, like, hey, big boy,
Taunting you.
come and get some.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's freaking gross.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
Not gross.
Hey, yeah, Miss Natalie.
Where are you gonna put it?
Christmas.
In the garden.
Oh.
It's for.
That's what we call her
Bedroom. The bedroom.
He's like, he's like,
It's on the bedside table.
Call Natalie's beat the garden.
He's like, instead of something stupid like a gnome or a, he's like, there was a bunch of little like plaques with like Bible verses. He's like, I thought this was so cool.
This one had a lot more veins than a regular garden gnome. So I'm also back on a workout routine. I
Okay,
started
sweet.
today, and you know what they say: 20th time's a charm. So I think it'll
Yeah, you
stick
got
this
it.
time. Yeah,
Back to the bike or
back
what?
to the yeah. I'm on the bike. Yep, I'm doing the bike. I figure we paid thousands and thousands of dollars for this
Sure.
Peloton
Yeah, like
adjacent.
$5.
I better get on there and
Peloton
actually,
adjacent.
yeah, and actually.
Hey, Nordic
use it.
Track's a brand. That's
Yeah,
a real
I know,
thing.
You're right. No,
Yeah.
you're right. But it's when anyone thinks like of an in-home bike, they think of the Peloton.
Yeah. With the
I think of that brown one that was just like a stationary bike that everyone's mom had. You know what I mean?
everybody-
It just had a straight thing at the back holding that one tire
And it
down.
made that noise.
Yeah.
yeah.
So the good old Gateway Network has some news as well. We are instituting the first ever Instagram Gaming Awards this year, which
yeah.
we are affectionately calling the Insties. We've amassed about 55 different diverse Instagrammers across the glizzle, that's globe, to sit on the panel, come up with the categories and nominizzles, and then sometime next Mizzle month, we're going to rizzle it izzle. Roll it out.
Roll it out. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I got it.
I've come up with a logo that will serve as the actual award, and we're going to get the whole of the entire Instagram community involved. So if you have an Instagram account, you'll be eligible to vote for the best games of the year according to us on Instagram. The goal being to unite us all under one banner. Instagram right now is really just a posting free-for-all, but there are so many people on there from all over the world with great opinions and perspectives. And I'm going to tag the publishers and stuff that win the games with the hopes of them maybe putting our logo on their boxes. Insty winner for best game of 2020 would be really cool. and could potentially help the hobby grow, bringing awareness to some awesome games. So be on the lookout for more information regarding the Insties, Instagram Gaming Awards. You'll likely see story posts from those 55 panelists, and you'll just vote.
And there's
that way.
There's a high probability you are following at least one of those accounts.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Like how many did you say in the email? How many?
yeah, there's
people?
251,000 followers.
Yeah, you're
between
probably one of
these
them.
accounts. So when I was going after people, I wanted two things. I wanted a diverse representation, not just racially, but across the world. I mean, and I wanted, kind of. I don't want to just say I went after big Instagram accounts, but I wanted people that had a good following. But I do have it within that 55. There's representative, people with as low as a couple hundred. If you're in the Gateway Network, you are automatically a panelist.
You're in.
You're
You did
just
it.
yeah. And so in future years, again, if you're in the Gateway, you will be invited to be a panelist just for being in the network. But I do think that there's something to be said about some accounts have upwards of 20,000 followers, and I want that because I want it. They have a bigger potential to reach a lot more people,
Yeah.
and I want these awards to hit as many people as possible. So probably in the next month, that will start to roll out as we're getting the nominees coming in right now from those panelists. And
I
we're
have
gonna do top 5, I think.
I've been dragging my feet a little bit filling that out because I have games coming that I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I
They're
want to play
2020
these
games.
games. I want to play these 2020 games before. So I'm gonna submit mine at like January 30th at like 11:59.
can.
Like right before
the deadline?
Because man, there's a couple games I'm just dying to play.
Yeah,
Same
I hear
here.
you.
This year
There's a
that I
bunch we
think
wanna play
might
too.
get in some of these categories.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm excited about it.
Well, one of those games, because we have the same kind of thing as you, we got to the table.
Oh, Ryan and
As everyone
Ryan and Natalie in their
knows.
big haul this year for Christmas. I got all these brand new games.
That's what we said too. Just like
Yeah.
as everyone knows, the best part of the holiday season is the gifts people get you. And this year was no different for me. I got so many hot new games, so many sexy, voluptuous, promiscuous, slutty games just begging for attention at $59.99 plus tax. I take them into my dark basement, strip them of their shrink wrap, spread the box open, and put my hands all over their insides. I splay them out on the table and go to town for upward of 2 hours. Natalie joins in, and sometimes there's even a group of us. It's so hot. We have a harem of about 250 of those. It's every man's dream. So the latest one we got to try out was this hot new bird from Prague called Praga Caput Regni, designed by one of the hottest designers in the biz, Vladimir Sucky It To Me Baby. We absolutely love his previous two designs, Underwater Cities and Pulsar 2849. He has done... Did he do Prodigal's Club?
The Prodigals Club and Last Will have both
Last
been his
Will
as
was
well.
him as well.
Yep.
Okay. So we were incredibly excited to get this one to the table and see where it fit in that hot threesome of those games that I just mentioned. In Praga Caput Regni, you're working as wealthy citizens working to build some shit for the king. He wants like a fucking bridge or a cathedral and shit, and you're building it for him. That's about as interesting as I can make them sound. For some reason, designers of Eurogames love to put you into some historical setting where there's landmarks that at one time were under construction, and you're the one who's constructing it. Whee! Well, you're not actually doing the work. You're just in charge of the force of people who are set out to do it. It always mystifies me how these themes jump into these designers' brains.
Yeah.
Oh, the old bridge of Elderberry has been standing for 300 years. Has anyone made a game about how people collected wood and stone and ate berries while making it? No? Well, saddle up because Elderberry Bridge is about to become a BGG top 10. Anyway, in Praga Caput Regni, you're working against your opponents to build bridges and cathedrals and city walls. Luckily for the stupid theme, the mechanisms, I never know if it's mechanisms or mechanics.
Me either, but there is something. There is a difference.
Well, just... Yes, well, somebody said, like, mechanics are what work on cars. I know.
Okay, Natalie's eating
Yep,
during
Natalie's
this.
eating.
Natalie, shouldn't
You're
you wait
supposed to be
until
doing it till Jeff is
let
talking.
me... Yeah, can you wait 5 minutes
Well,
and eat it while I'm explaining a
I
game?
can eat it again.
Okay,
There's
eat
no
it
way.
again.
It's a white chocolate, peanut butter,
Reese's Tree.
Reese's Tree.
Yep.
Ooh, them shits are good. Anyway. So yeah, the mechanisms or the mechanics, whatever the hell you want to say, are where the game shines. As each turn, you take one of 6 actions. A bonus action, possibly an additional action, and then rotate this action wheel one space and then do it all again 15 more times until the game ends. The action wheel is really cool. I don't know if you've seen pictures of this thing.
Yes.
When you take an action, you have to decide both what you want to do as well as what you can afford. All the actions are along this wheel, And different sections of the wheel either cost money to take an action that's there, cost nothing but give you nothing, or give you a reward for taking the action. The actions at the beginning of the wheel, where all the actions are at the beginning of the game, cost money. Well, most of them anyway. So if there's an action you want to perform, but it's at like the top of the wheel, you either have to wait a few rounds for that wheel to spin into a spot where it doesn't cost anything, or you have to pay a premium to do it now. If nobody takes a certain action, eventually it will reward you. But the actions most people want will usually cost money unless you can wait on them. It's a cool system that gives you kind of your first decision point when you're deciding what action to take. So it's not, you don't just select an action. You have to decide, okay, I want to take this action, but is it in the spot that costs money? One. Is it in the spot that gives me the bonus action that I want, for 2. So there's a couple different things to think about right there, which is actually really cool. After you decide what action to take, you perform the action, which is either gaining resources on your dual layered player board, which is cool, or using your resources to build building tiles or walls or action upgrades. One of the resources is actually eggs. As apparently the bridge that was built, it's called the Charles Bridge, was like constructed with like crushed up eggs. And it's still standing.
This comes with actual
Really?
wooden eggs,
now.
right?
It comes with both wooden eggs
eggs.
and like, I don't know why,
come
but it
punch
also
out.
comes with punch outs.
So-
And it says like, use whichever one you want.
Yeah, the Delicious Games edition, the not US release, has the cardboard. So this is one of the Rio Grande added the wooden ones.
Cool.
Added the wooden egg. So that was an upgrade that they
nice.
did when they printed it.
That is cool. I like that. We use the wooden eggs because
Sure, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, they're
who would
freaking
want to
sweet.
use the cardboard
That's one of the coolest
ones?
parts about Wingspan. So they're the same, and they're the same kind of eggs as Wingspan eggs. They're just
Same mold.
yeah, they're just white instead of different colors.
Really? The wingspan eggs don't seem wooden.
What do they seem?
They seem like
Metal?
rubbery or plastic.
Yeah,
Dude,
they're
are they?
rubbery,
Are they
plasticky
not
kind of
wood?
thing.
I don't
They're
think
not. They're wood.
wood.
They are like a rubbery. Like
Okay, maybe you're
weird-
right.
But the shape is probably the same.
They're the same shape,
they
yeah,
look like
because they're
candy.
eggs. Yeah, yeah. But it's cool. So I don't know. These weird ass people use eggs in their bridge.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
very
where
weird.
they thought
it's
of
so
that.
funny when you first brought up, or we just started talking about the eggs. I was like, I didn't even think about like what the hell.
Yeah, like,
eggs
why
have to
are we
do with this
using
game?
eggs? Yeah, they were used to make the bridge. Apparently, he brought them in like cartloads to do it, and the bridge is still standing after 600
That
years.
doesn't make sense.
Anyway, when you place the building tiles down, there are other cool things that you have to consider. So all the building tiles are hexes. When you place it, you can place it and orient the hex in one of 6 different ways. You don't just like put it down. You can put it this way, or rotate it one space, or rotate, because there are adjacency things on the edge of all these tiles. Some are on the corner, some are on the edge, and some don't have any at all. But it's cool because it kind of works like that tapestry mechanism in Tawantinsuyu, where if you line up things next to each other, you gain the benefits of those. It's easier in this game. Tawantinsuyu, correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff, but you had to match them up. You had to match up gold with gold to get gold.
Yeah, it had to be
Yes.
like
In
same
Praga Caput
kind of
Regni,
tap.
you just have to have 2 things that are on the sides touching.
Yeah.
So if one is an egg and one is a window, you get them both.
Because not
Okay.
all of them have those, and when they do have them, there's like usually 1, maybe 2 sides that have it. So like
But so you're
you
putting,
have to work to match up.
Yes, you have to. Right. But so you're putting these tiles down, and you're not just, when you buy a tile, it gives you a benefit, and then you put it down. And then later you put another tile down. Hopefully you're matching, the corner or the side to get additional bonuses. And I love games that give you more stuff
Yes.
than just the thing. So that's a really cool thing. The game is really difficult to explain without the board in front of you. And the board is enormous.
Enormous.
It's enormous and extremely busy. It almost looks like a Where's Waldo book. You know how you look at
Yeah.
Where's Waldo and you're just like, what?
Yeah, I told Ryan because there was this one spot. What is like the bottom area
Where the buildings were?
Yeah. So it just looks like a big mess. And then when he like explained where you put the tiles, and I was like, now that you say that, it's so obvious. But if you didn't tell me that, I would have never like just realized, oh, there's a spot for each tile to go. It's because
Yes.
it's just like so crazy looking.
You will definitely hear more about this in my final thoughts, but it is very difficult to tell what you're looking at a glance. Very, very difficult.
His games do not have small footprints. I'll tell you that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Pulsar
for
is
sure.
a
Pulsar is
massive
huge. It's got all
game.
that satellite crap.
Yeah.
But this one, well, I'll talk
Yeah.
about it in a minute. Only the board is enormous. Okay, so basically this is a point salad. Okay, you're usually earning points pretty much every turn after a while. And for pretty much doing everything. You know, buying buildings usually gives you some kind of points. Advancing along these tracks give you points. You know, getting technologies are some way to give you points. Going up on your resource tracks eventually give you points. Everything gives you points. And we love that around here. That's some people use that as a derogatory term.
Yeah, people don't like
we
that.
love
We
that
all
kind
over
of
that.
stuff. That stuff is great.
When people say that, I'm like,
Optimize the
okay.
shit. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, sweet, points
so
out.
good. Yeah.
There's also big end game points to be had and strategies to employ. It's a heavy game. It's interesting to me. It comes in at 3.65 on the BGG weight scale. I felt like it wasn't that heavy. I felt like it was maybe even a little below 3.5, maybe. I didn't think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's a decent weight to be at, but that's a dumb little nitpick. But it is a bigger game. At the beginning of the game, I think you feel that more because it's just completely open, and you're like, "What do I do?"
Right.
You know, there's not one clear path.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different ways that you can, because everything gives you points. So how do I synergize? It's a game of synergies, right? So things I liked. The game is beautiful. The components are beautiful. My opponent was beautiful. I love games that give you stuff.
Oh, sorry. You mean Natalie?
I love games that give you stuff for doing other stuff. And this game also really has maybe one of the things I love most about games are these really satisfying turns. They're sparse. They're more sparse in this game, but there is a thing where, okay, so I might take a wall tile that gives me some goods. But then the adjacency bonus I get also gives me some windows that I can then use to move up in the cathedral, which puts me onto an arrow that immediately moves me to the left that gives me 3 gold, which then puts me above 6 gold, which triggers a technology tile, which I can then take to get a gold window that I use on another turn, so I can get a whole another turn, which I then use to get a tile I want that costs 6 points. And that's one turn for me. And
that's that point salad
awesome.
thing. Yeah.
It is so. Those turns are very possible. That was not an exaggeration. That basically that thing basically happened to both of us once in the game, and it feels so satisfying when that stuff happens. Everything gives you stuff. Pretty much every action you take is good, which I also liked about the game. There weren't many throwaway turns where you're just wasting an action, other than maybe collecting resources at the beginning of the game. Though even doing that usually gives you more stuff. So you never really feel completely screwed over or like your turn is wasted. And I like games like that. Our game was probably very different than it would be the next play, which is also a mark in his favor, don't you think? We were only separated by 4 points at the end of the game that went over 100. Our points were over 100. We were only separated by 4. But our strategies were incredibly different. I focused heavily on getting in-game points and trying to distance myself as much as I could from Natalie, who was getting a lot of end-game points. There's a lot of different things you can do, and it really seems as though you have to kind of pick a lane and stick with it, doing maybe 1 or 2 of the 5 or 6 things that are available to you. You know, there's a lot of games like that where if you try to do a little bit of everything, you're going to lose to somebody who's doing a lot of something. Like I said before, it's a game of synergies, which I also really like. You're trying to synergize your strategies so they work in a way that will maximize your score. Like I said, almost everything you do has ancillary things that happen after your main thing. Like you take a wall tile that gives you 10 points at the end of the game, but it also lets you move on the cathedral. So you might want to focus on wall tiles that let you do that, making those 2 areas of the game work together for you. There are a lot of different things to explore, and that was really cool. I love a good player board. So does Jeff. I'm guessing Natalie might too. And this game has 2 of them. You get 2 player boards. Yeah, you have this awesome dual layered player board for tracking your resources and technology. And it's dual layered, which is awesome anyway. Cool. And then you have an action board that's next to it, which has all your actions on it and that you put tiles on top of, and you're playing like this own little game on there, almost reminiscent of something like Keyflower, how you're building your own little thing with those tiles. It's kind of like that. And that's really awesome. So things I didn't like. I mentioned the board earlier, and there are a few things about it. Number 1, it's enormous. I think unnecessarily enormous. There are these 3D things that you build before you play the game, and you actually have to glue them together.
Yeah, you had glue.
And that kind of sucks. It's crazy. There are 2D versions of them printed on the board, so you don't have to, but they're there, and you want to. You want to build those things. Then you got to get out the glue, and there's glue residue all over my table because that's what I do. I think that's glue.
You're just like, oh my god.
Boy.
Oh, it reminds me of my old Cavalier.
Yeah, gross. It was just cum stain in the back.
It wasn't cum, it was glue, but everybody thought
it was from the statue.
Yeah, exactly. It was the mushrooms.
Glue, and
the
everybody
mushroom.
made fun of me thinking it was not glue.
Anyway, I had to glue those things together, which was a bummer because it took forever. Also, I mentioned the game is gorgeous, and it is. As a piece of artwork, the board is beautiful. As a functioning game component, though, it's barely serviceable, honestly. It's such a cacophony of color and graphic design, little tiny graphic design choices, that it's so busy you can't tell what the hell you're looking at a glance. Like Natalie said, before I actually explained exactly what things were, where they go, you would never intuit.
Yeah.
It's like bleh. It looks great. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
But it's too much. It's too much. I can see it putting some people off, honestly, or adding to the confusion of an already heavy and confusing game. So while I really enjoyed the game, I think so far, granted we only played this once, but I think it's my least favorite Suki game I've played so far. It just wasn't quite as fun to play as something like Pulsar or Underwater Cities. Both of those games have this flow that just feels exciting while you're doing it. Praga Caput Regni did not have that same magic. It wasn't as smooth or as streamlined. And the graphic design and busy board just made things needlessly complicated, in my opinion. The board was just so large also that you can't even really manipulate it all at once. Natalie had to be the one that did the action wheel because I couldn't. It's just so far on the other side. And I had to be the one to manipulate the 3D cathedral and do the wall stuff. And that's just kind of a bummer and takes you a little bit away from the overall experience. And I think that's my biggest complaint, is that what should be a seamless game of optimization and conversion is muddled up a bit by the presentation. And this is a really good game that I want to play again. Maybe with more plays, it will rise the ranks. Surely the replayability is there, as I don't feel like I've even scratched the surface regarding strategy. I mean, I don't know how you feel, Natalie, but it doesn't take terribly long to play either with 2, which was cool.
Yeah, as the box says, it
says,
between 45 and 150 minutes.
So with 4, maybe it ramps up like crazy. With 2, it clicked.
Nice to hear.
I'd say it was like no more than an hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half, no more than. It was pretty quick. But the size of the board and the business, the artwork, and the graphic design take you out of that experience just enough to knock this one back to that 3rd place in those 3 games that I've played. Good game, maybe even great, but not to the level of Underwater Cities or Pulsar, in my opinion. Natalie, do you have anything to add?
That was a very good review.
Was it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well done,
I'm
Ryan.
impressed.
Well, thank you. Wow. It's hard because I want the listeners to know what the game's about, and I feel like it's really hard to explain unless you're looking at the board.
Honestly,
Yeah, it is hard to
I've looked at
explain.
pictures, and I've even looked at other reviews or just overviews, and I still don't 100% understand
you're
what's going on,
what's
because
going
that's
on?
my most anticipated game this year for months and months and months. I've been waiting for this.
It's really it's a lot simpler than it looks.
Yeah.
Sorry, Natalie, go ahead.
No, it's okay. So this game, I had a rocky start, but in the end, ended up really enjoying it. Like you said, the board is so busy, and there's a lot of little things to consider that I felt really overwhelmed, and I didn't have a plan at first. And when I say a lot of little things to consider, I mean a lot. Like Ryan said, just to decide what action you're gonna take, or what action tile you're gonna take. There's whatever one you decide. You have to decide, do I pay for it? Do I not pay for it? Do I consider the reward that it gives you or doesn't give you? I consider, what's on the action tile, because you have 2 choices. You can take this or this.
Right.
All those things just to decide which one I want to take. And then you have to play out your action.
Yeah, then actually do it.
And then I'm playing out my action, and then I go to take a building or a wall. But which one do I take? If I take this one, it moves me up here. But if I take this one and I place it this way, then it gives me, and it's just I got really locked up at first because I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one to take. I don't really feel like I have a strategy yet, So at the beginning of it, I was kind of it's like my brain hurt. I was just I don't know. I don't know what to do. But then suddenly, as we played on, it started to click. I don't even know what happened, but all of a sudden things just started flowing, and it felt more like the other games
Yeah.
that we played by him. I like games where you get a lot of ways to get, or there's a lot of ways to get points, which this one definitely has.
Oh, yeah.
I pretty much like most everything in the end, once I kind of figured it out.
Yep.
But the key word is that I liked it, not loved it, because I love Underwater Cities and
Yeah,
Pulsar, like
who
you
doesn't?
said. And this
Let
one
me raise
just,
my. I
Jeff
love
loves
him. I
Underwater
love him.
Cities.
I want to ask you a question when you're done.
Okay, so yeah, I I love those. It's so hard because like I did really enjoy this game. Like I felt Vladimir Suchy in it in the end.
Ooh.
You know, but like
felt him in his end.
Pulsar and Underwater Cities, like I just want to like I will play that like
Anytime.
Yep. Like I'm pumped and dying to play those again. And like this one, I definitely want to play again, and I really enjoyed it. But like,
do it.
Just play them.
But would I choose it over the other two? Probably not.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's so. We were just talking about this before we started the podcast. It's so hard because, you know, we like most games we play, and we're in a situation where we have so many games that we like absolutely love that we still don't get played, you know, and even though I really like this game and I want to play it more, like, does it deserve a spot? So, yeah, that's my thoughts.
Cool.
It's a good one.
So, are you ready for my question?
Yes.
Now I've developed two. I have two questions.
Okay. You developed
So, question number one is, because you knew this was one of your favorite designers, did you already go into this game with way higher expectations than other games?
Probably.
Okay.
Although I will
I
say
wouldn't
this,
say
I
way
will say
higher,
this.
but definitely
She
had
found
an
out it was Vladimir
expectation.
Suchy when she sat down to learn the rules.
Okay.
She didn't know it. We like the box
Yeah,
there, and she was like,
that's true.
"Oh, this is Vladimir Suchy.
Okay.
Oh, sweet."
But I mean,
And I guess you don't do a ton of research before,
No.
right? So
honestly, like Ryan has like this whole stack of games that he got for Christmas, and he's like, which one are you most excited to play? And out of like all of them, I'm like, well, I only really know anything about this one, so I guess that one. Because I was like, I don't know.
all right, so maybe this next question will be better. Now, the first time, so I've played Pulsar twice. The first time I played Pulsar, I felt there is a lot to do in that game, right?
Yeah.
You begin the game and you go, holy crap,
Yeah,
there is a
tons of
lot
shit.
to do.
Same with this, yeah.
So that I wonder if that's maybe where you felt like, do you think that with another play, having known that at the end you loved it, now if I start the game
Yes.
with loving it, maybe it'll
Yeah,
go up,
that is the
right?
definite
Who knows?
possibility.
Yep, for sure.
Just talking it up because I'm
Yeah,
really
because
excited to
the
play
other
it.
games,
It's good.
The other
No, it's
two
really
games,
good.
We haven't just played those once. We've played those several times. So
A lot, yeah. At least
so it's
three
fair
each
to
one.
say I would give this another chance, and it could feel different.
Yeah, I think what I agree with you on is we didn't. I remember after we played Underwater Cities for the first time, we were fighting before the game started. We were like in a stupid little fight, and then halfway through the game, we were like, I don't. It turned us around.
I remember
the
I was
game
like,
turned us around.
I was like, despite the mood I'm in, I'm like having so much fun. And like,
Yeah.
changed my.
And so
attitude.
we knew Underwater Cities was something special after that first play, and then we played it again, and I think I was at the level you were at the first play after when we played the second time, and then Pulsar, we both just instantly like, oh my god, this is so
wasn't Pulsar
good.
one we both kind of got butthurt about?
Well, but like so the first play, yeah, you like kicked my ass. And you
Yeah.
loved it, and I was like, "Wow, this game's stupid." And then we played it again, and
you kicked
I
my
had the
ass.
best play ever.
And I was like, oh,
Who's
I
gonna
see
come
how
in
you
here?
felt.
He's gonna kick my ass.
Yeah.
Gonna kick your ass.
And then we played it again, I think, with Jeff, and it didn't.
But so
feel
I
that way
guess
at all.
what was similar to both of those games is we both felt a real reaction viscerally to them.
because we were so like invested in it, and sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, that's fine. No,
I thought you were
I was
like,
just listening.
Don't interrupt.
no,
me.
gosh, are you kidding? That's all I do is
dare
interrupt
you.
I know. I'm Captain Interruptius, Corpus Interruptus. With this one, I think we both were like, it's really good. It's really good. But we didn't have that like, wow, my God. Maybe with future plays, we will.
Yeah.
And this is a game that will, I think, stick around for those future
Yeah,
plays.
and
That's
like
good.
like I said in this game, I mean, early on in the game, I got pretty mad because I was just like,
Ryan.
and then
Well, it's hard when you're watching your opponent.
yeah, he's like,
Get it.
I'll do this, and then it gives me this, and
Like,
I do this, and
but
I'm
did
like,
Ryan
sweet.
win?
I was
She
like,
only
I'll
lost by
take
4,
some
right?
stuff.
Yeah, she only lost by 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like in the end, it started getting to
Clicking.
the point where I could have those sweet turns.
Yeah.
And then I remember it was just like I would like giggle or be like or like smile because like
Like that's
it's so
sweet.
fun when that happens.
Yeah, those are very awesome in games. So that's Praga Caput Regni. Even the name doesn't roll off the tongue like Underwater Cities.
Okay, is it a C
Like English words.
CAPVT?
Yeah, but it's Caput.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a U.
I like yeah, okay. I was
not
close. I wrote it down
Captain
from memory,
Vermont.
and I only got one letter wrong. I put
I got one letter
Praga,
wrong.
Kaput,
Capv
and Regna, but not
and Regna. You thought that was an A?
Well, no, I just did it for upstairs, like from memory. Like, what's
gotcha.
the name of this game?
Yeah. Even the name's not streamlined. Yeah, I think that the only bummer about it to me is really the board. That like if I had to give it a negative, you know what I mean? The game. There's nothing wrong with the way the game plays. There's nothing wrong with how it feels. You know, I didn't like it as much as Underwater Cities or Pulsar, but that doesn't mean the game is bad or that's a negative mark. The only negative mark I would give it is. You're going to set this up for Devin. And I think Devin's going to be like, "What the hell am I looking at?"
I know. I think I walked down the stairs and it was set up, and I was like, "Is there any space for my water?"
On the board? No. What have you been playing, Jeff?
I've been playing some games. So I want to talk about 2 games that we've talked about a lot previously. So one is this game called Underwater Cities.
I never heard of this. No.
So I'm not going to go into it, but
Who designs that?
yeah. So Devin and I played another Underwater Cities. We did that was our New Year's Eve game. So that was our last game
Is that
of
like
the
the
year?
third time you guys played it together? Just the YouTube?
It might be I think I've played it 5 times this year, so probably 4 with her this year. So just because it's awesome.
My favorite play
it's
so
my
far
favorite
was that
game.
play at Nerdfest or the Gen Con weekend.
Yeah, the 4
that
play was great.
so
Yeah,
good.
that was
Yeah.
really fun.
But I played with the new Geek Up Bits that dance.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It was awesome. So as we halfway through, Devin was like, "Man, it's too bad they didn't do something with the coins." And I was like, "Well, funny you say that
Because
they did, and they're metal
coins.
and they're awesome."
Yep.
So
Jeff's
she
favorite
wants
thing in the world
me
is
to
metal
get
coins.
those. She
does?
Yeah. Well, it's like the you
don't need it? What?
I know.
Wow.
So because they're like the same shape, right? Because they're not like the coin, the circles, right?
Yeah, they're the
rectangle.
square, the rectangular.
Oh,
ones.
right.
It was another really great play. It was fun.
Cool.
And then we played. So I got 2 gifts for Christmas.
Me too.
And no, he didn't. So I got 2 games for Christmas. One was from our little Secret Santa that we did, and I
Sweet.
got Circadian's First Light.
Awesome.
And I kept texting you guys. I'm like, why is this box so
I know.
small?
I am so surprised you hadn't
I have
seen
never.
that
I'm like,
Well,
why is it so
He never
small?
saw it on our shelf.
I'm like, yeah, it just disappears.
Well, I guess it's a pretty good size. So small.
It's over there.
But yeah, there's a lot of game in that little box.
Yeah, there is, dude.
Yeah.
But then the other game I got that we played was I got Zolkin. That was a game that I've played a whole bunch of times before, and it was something I wanted in my collection because now that Devin's playing heavier games, might be something that she would
Introduce her to
enjoy.
that.
So we played Zolkin, and I crushed her, and it was hard.
say, what did she think?
That game is so I think she liked it.
Really?
She wants to play it again, but that's a game that it's not easy to be a noob and play
Yeah.
against
Game
someone
can make
who
you
has
feel
played it.
stupid
That makes
real
sense, 'cause you
quick.
played
Yeah,
it a bunch.
because I know, and I'm like, I know how to score. I know the timing. I knew that. And partway through, she's like, I really don't know how to score.
I'm not telling you shit,
and,
girl.
Yeah, and then she
Figure it out
like
for
she did
yourself.
very well like the second half of the game, because you do like scoring midway through. She did very well the second half of the game. She started to click, so it seemed like she was
Okay.
interested in playing it again.
Well, what can also help is when you're playing against somebody who knows what the hell they're doing. She probably watched a little bit of what you were doing.
Well, she asked me about the skull wheel, and she's like, "Why are you sitting on that skull wheel?" I'm like, "Well, over on this wheel, I'm going to get a skull very soon, and I'm going to pull them both at the same time." And she's like, "Oh, that's smart, right?" I'm like, "Well, that's something you can do to get
why you
points."
married me, girl.
Yeah.
Smart.
So that was a really fun play. So I'm excited that I now have all the T games except Tekenu. So
Nice.
Oh.
I'm
That's
sure
coming.
that'll just have to be
you
added
gotta
to
get
the
it. You
collection.
have to.
Now
You
that
gotta get
I
it.
can't just
And there's a
one
new
out.
one coming out in 2021.
I followed
Called?
Tessanui?
to something.
Testosterone.
Testosterone.
Testosterone. Tabada. Yeah, I follow Board and Dice on Instagram, and they just keep posting their like lineup for this year, and I'm just like,
I just want that one.
all of them look awesome. They have like
Board
4
and
or
Dice
5
is sweet.
games. Man,
Yeah.
they're killing it. But played a new game called Catacombs Cubes,
Catacombs Cubes.
and you might have heard the name Catacombs before, right, Natalie?
I have.
Okay.
I've played it too.
Yep.
So
great game.
This is set in the Catacombs world, but really has nothing. Like, it's not a dexterity flicking game. Like, when you see Catacombs Cubes, like, all right, I'm going to be flicking discs
Flicking cubes.
at the cubes,
Ba-ba-ba-boom.
right? Or flicking
yeah,
cubes.
yep.
No, it's not a dexterity game. It's just set in this same world.
Okay.
So,
Is it a different art?
okay, the art looks very similar. I know the box
is
is over
it?
there. It looks similar. It's not Quanchai Moria. But you can tell, like, the font is similar.
The
and
color
just-
scheme is the same.
Yes.
font, yeah.
But you can definitely tell the art is different.
It's not Quanchai Moria, but it's another guy. He, it looks good, right?
Another guy.
It's another dude.
Dude.
Dennis.
Actually a girl.
Something, I don't know.
Is it?
Dennis Martinez.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's done a ton
Martinez?
of other games.
No, it's not Martinez. It's Marty Netz.
Martinez.
Martinez.
Oh,
So,
Yeah.
and, I don't know.
Well, shout out to our buddy Den.
out to Den.
Now,
Marty Nets.
Marty Netz.
so it looks like it. It has, that's similar. Like Ryan said, color style, font all looks the same, but
Yep.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's
What are you doing?
you wouldn't
There's
buy
something on
it.
the box I got on my hand. Okay.
You wouldn't buy it thinking like, all right, I'm going to be flicking stuff. You're not. It's
Yeah.
not a dexterity
Right.
game at all. It is designed by the same guy, Aaron West, who designed all the other Catacombs games. And
It says Ken Vallis.
Ken Vallis and Aaron West. So I wanted to mention Aaron West because he's I really didn't put him on the box.
That's weird.
He's on Board Game Geek. I know.
I disagree, my friend.
Yeah. So maybe he's in the, but he's on Board Game Geek as one of the designers, but he also did the other one. So that's, if that name is familiar to other people who love that Catacombs thing. And this is more related to that third edition, the newer art, not the like dungeony
the second
feel of
edition.
the other one. Yeah. So Ellsworth Game published it. It's a dice drafting, block drafting, city building game. Ooh. So it plays 1 to 4. If you have the expansion, which is called Monuments, it plays 1 to 6. It's not a very long game. Devin and I played it in an hour with 2 people.
Okay.
Rules took 10 minutes, 15 minutes to explain the rules, and then an hour to play. So players are collecting polyomino blocks. Polyomino?
So like 3D?
3D polyomino blocks to construct 3D buildings
Holy
to add to the
shiza.
Catacombs city.
Damn.
So I have not played Catacombs a ton, but I think the
Great
buildings in Catacombs, the flicking game, I think you're building those in these games, sort of. Like, I'm sure there's some crossover in, like, when you go into the dungeon of one of the Catacombs things. I don't know. Let's move on.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think. There's not really buildings.
Are there, like, names? Are there names of these different things you're going into?
The dungeon or the actual rooms you're going into might have names.
Maybe they have name. Maybe those
Yeah.
match the. So
Okay.
Maybe that's how they're
Interesting.
kind of
Picture
connecting
you
them.
posted made me think of blueprints.
Yes. Yeah. Very similar. This game
Forgot
has
about that
blueprints. It's a cool game.
That was a cool game.
You know what's funny is I listened back to our old episode from a year ago to look
Okay.
at like our resolutions that we
Sure.
were talking about, and you mentioned blueprints in that episode,
What? Are you
and now you
serious?
just said it today.
All right,
Yes.
every year you have
This
to
is
bring
weird.
up blueprints.
That's
So
weird.
every January something, you have to say something about blueprints.
When's the last time you
Wow.
thought about blueprints?
Just now when you said it.
Yeah. And then the last
not
time I
long
thought
ago.
about it before then was a year ago when you said it again.
So probably more recent than
It
other
was
games.
on. It was on your honorable mentions intro or gateway games. We talked about
okay.
blueprints.
Wow.
And then Ryan said almost the same thing. Oh, I forgot about blueprints. So if you're interested, go back and listen to episode
Deja vu.
33.
Time is cyclical.
So it's technology. Okay, so
What?
so you're collecting.
It's from
like
30
a
Rock.
quote.
Yeah, from 30
This guy's selling
The Beeper
beepers,
King.
and then, yeah.
He's like, wait, people use beepers? He's like, yeah, you know, technology's cyclical.
It's like
Beepers are making a comeback.
It's one of the only things that isn't. Like, it's so great.
Right. Cyclical.
Oh man. Yeah, so you're collecting these polyomino 3D blocks and you're building these, like physically building the buildings to add to the city. So
That's cool.
the play begins with someone is the foreman. So whoever is like the first player is the foreman. They roll these dice, and depending on how many people you have different pairs of dice. So there's like 2 orange dice, 2 purple dice, 2 blue dice. Those are when you play with 2 people, those are the 6 dice you have. The foreman rolls them and pairs them up into the colors. And then the foreman has one option to swap 2 dice.
Okay.
And then the next person goes first. So the foreman rolls and can swap, kind of like a I cut, you choose sort of
Yeah.
thing. So if I was the foreman, I'd put the dice out. Ryan would then go first because he's sitting to my left. Of course, you all know this
Plus I
because
want
you're
to.
yeah. So Ryan would go first, and he could take one of 2 actions. He could draft 2 dice that are set together that are pairs, or he can build. So when he drafts the dice, he takes what's on the face of the dice. So it could be a block. It could be like the Tiwi block.
Tiwi.
It could be a single cube. It could be the long one. It could be these different shapes.
Is it called the long one? Is that, no, that was,
It was the hero. The hero was the long one. So it could be
Yeah.
any of those shapes that he would then just take, or some of the dice have like a little kind of special action that then maybe he would be able to add a block somewhere else or just do something. So he takes the 2 dice and he executes those actions, either taking it or doing one of the special ones. Or Ryan can choose to build a structure. So maybe he has already collected the blocks that he needs, and he now builds a structure from one of the 4 blueprints that's out. That like blueprints.
There's a game Blueprints.
Yep. So the game starts with 4 blueprints that are set out that everyone can be building, and then once it's built, it just keeps the top one.
Yep,
goes.
cycling.
Yep. Or you have one
cyclical.
sitting in front of you. Yeah. Or you have one sitting in front of you that you can build. So Ryan says, "All right, I have enough blocks. I'm going to construct this building here, and I'm going to build it." And it's one of the blueprints. I take it, and then you take that building physically, the tile, and you flip it over and you add it to the city grid. Cool. And you go back and forth and you play like that until you have created either a 4x4 or a 5x4 city, depending on how many people you're playing with.
Oh, I see.
So there are some cool things, like there's tokens that you collect that give you cool special actions, because every time you place a tile in the city, sort of not directly related to Praga, but as soon as you place it in the city, if things match, you get rewards because each side of the square tile that you're placing has like a little flag on it. And as you put them together and you touch 2 things, you get kind of bonuses as you're placing them down, which is pretty cool. I like that you have like a kind of a personal building that you can build. So you have these 4 options here. And there's also a community building that you're all building together. It's like this big palace. So one of the special actions that you can get on a die or on one of your tokens is you can place one of your blocks into the community building. And everyone is kind of building this building. And the last person to place it gets to put the city in there. But as you're building it, as I put one block into this community building, I move up on this little separate track. And every time I move up on the separate track, as I pass certain points, I get either more points to the game or I get another cool kind of block or I get another action as I'm moving up. So even though if I don't add the last block, I don't get the points, but maybe I'm adding all of them, and I'm getting points or everything as I move up that thing. So yeah, as soon as the city's complete, you get some points for having the most like leftover coins, meaning like you didn't take any of those cool special actions.
Yeah.
And yeah, so let me tell you what I thought.
Oh boy.
It was
Yeah, please do.
So I don't love these types of games. I don't love the spatial, for how much everyone loves tiny towns, right? This is
that
the game that I think about when I think of these spatial games where it's like, oh, I take this block and I have now created this L and now I put this thing here. Like for that was awful. That was not fun for me. And I've played it. I looked at my log. I played it 5 or 6 times. I played with my students a couple times. I played with Devin a couple times.
You were like really trying.
I was really trying, and boy, it didn't work. So because everybody just anyway, this for some reason was better. Like I had more fun playing this game than I have other games that are like this. I don't think spatially very well.
You had low expectations.
When I look at a game like
lowered expectations.
Exactly. It's like when I look at Realm of Sand. Remember how shitty that artwork is in Realm of Sand? Where I can't even. I don't even know what the fuck this shape is to build it anywhere. And then I build it and I'm like, well, that's not right because I didn't look at the picture well, or I'm looking at. I didn't have any problem looking at the shape on these blueprints, even though they were 3D printed on a 2D thing.
Well, you're older and smarter now.
I must be. And in the top corner, they give you a nice little like how many blocks are in it, and sort of an overview of like this row needs 2, this row. It gives you multiple things, so I can see it and I go, okay, I can visualize what this picture is. And what I also enjoyed is there were lots of different ways to make that structure. I didn't need to go, I need a red, a yellow, and a blue, and then I make that.
Right.
I can get, I can get the Tiwi and one block, and I can make this shape. Or if I get the L in this one, I can still build the same.
Right.
There were multiple paths to making every single building.
Yeah.
And some of the buildings had like holes in them, where it's like an arch almost.
Yep.
And you had to make it so it didn't fall, right? So that middle arch, I couldn't use a single cube because it would fall, right? So I had to make it a structure.
Cool.
So that was neat. So I almost can't put my finger on what made me like this more, but those are some of the points. I also liked the little action tokens because I felt like, and this is something Ryan always likes in games, I felt like I could do a big turn. Yeah. I could turn because one of the cool action tokens was you can chisel off a piece of your block. So for example, if I had a square, so let's say I had a square, I can use this chisel piece and I can chisel off a part of that block and make it an L and then take my cube.
That's cool.
So now I have an L and a cube instead of a square. Yeah. So that was kind of cool I used that, maybe Devin built a building that I was going to use the square for, and now I can chisel it off and use the L and the cube for something different. So I kind of like that. It made for some interesting turns, or I wasn't stuck with like, oh, no, I'm stuck with this square that I can't use for how many. Yeah. So
use the chisel.
I like the bonuses for placing. Yeah,
for chisel.
The bonuses for placing was cool. So every time you built a building, you got points, you got some bonus, and then when you placed it in the city, you also got to choose a bonus too because of your things matched up. So overall, I enjoyed it. It was fast. There's an expansion called the Monuments, which adds more buildings, and I'm looking forward to adding that. And it was overall a much more fun experience that I thought I was going to have going into the game. And I would play it again. I'm interested when you guys play it. I
actually backed this on Kickstarter back in September of 2019, and it canceled. The project canceled.
Yes, and then I think they relaunched.
I must have missed it. Yeah, I must have missed the relaunch because I was intending on backing it. I had backed every iteration of Catacombs. Yeah, up to that point. So I was like, I should do that. Yeah,
because do you have any of them?
I currently have Catacombs Cubes sitting right here in my hand.
So I know you're on your polyomino journey because it doesn't end. Right?
Nope. It's
even though we've passed the episode, you're going to continue this. This I would put in the polyomino.
It doesn't stop. It's like being a drug addict.
Yeah.
You
It's
just don't
definitely
stop
not.
being an
Yeah, it's definitely not pure polyomino, right? You're not using
Yeah.
those cubes to fill in a shape, but
That's
you are
cool,
using
though.
them to do something.
I'm
And 3D.
I'm very excited for it.
So, Catacombs Cubes.
Sweet. I like it. Well, our good friend and educational administrator, Stefan Feldkondom, usually somehow puts out 2 or more incredible games every year. How the hell does he do that?
He's... I don't
2
know.
a year? I've been working on one for like 5 years, 6 years.
In between suspending students.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like sitting at his desk like 5 days.
Hey, get in here, Tuscany.
ISS.
Tuscany. The past year, he regaled us with Bonfire and the Castles of Tuscany. Both of those games entered my collection over the holidays, and Tuscany was the first to hit the table. The one thing I learned about this game is that there are no houses to rent there. That's a Seinfeld joke. The second thing I learned is that this game follows the old Feld recipe of absolutely basic crap components. Why, oh why, does every single one of his games have the feel of a
it's
third
Aaliyah.
grade art
I
project?
say it's the same
'Cause it's
as,
Aaliyah.
Burgundy, right? The same.
Yeah, the same publisher.
Aaliyah
But I feel like
Ravensburger.
even when it's not Aaliyah, there's like other... They all suck.
It's the Aaliyah Ravensburger problem. They can't.
All of them?
Well, most of them.
Yeah.
Like every single one of Uwe's games, regardless of publisher, has like these huge chunky components and this like great artwork. Why can't
Yeah.
Feld games take that cue? I would love if every single one of his games, I would love them so much more if they were just slightly better produced.
Yeah.
Just
I'm with
slightly.
you.
Just move it over slightly.
Move it over
Just produce it
slightly.
slightly. All right, I'll stop beating that dead horse, as nobody in the industry seems to give a shit. Maybe if I start beating dead seals, they'll care.
Wow.
Anyway, Castles of Tuscany hit the table, and this game had an insane amount of buzz when it was announced. Arguably, Feldkondom's biggest hit is the Castles of Burgundy, and when this gorgeous green box was teased months ago with a name that was incredibly reminiscent of the Big Bad Burgundy, people went bananas. For as bananas as a bunch of nerds seeing a new board game designed by a high school principal can go.
Bananas.
Like most people, I wanted this game sight unseen, even though I'd already seen it, having no real idea what the game was about. Well, then more information leaked about it, and people started to review it, and my excitement waned a bit. It didn't abate, but it waned. Obviously, this wasn't the next Castles of Burgundy, despite the name being 3/4 the same. It does have some similarities and similar ideas, however, but it's much simplified. Maybe even the lightest Feld game I've played so far. Here's how it works. This is a tile-laying game like Burgundy, but much simpler. The game takes place over 3 rounds, and each round lasts a series of turns. Each turn, you take one of 3 actions. Either you take cards from this deck, and the cards are just colors that match the tiles you're placing, or you take a tile from the central display and put it on one of your 2-player boards, like Praga has 2-player boards, that's crazy. Or you take a tile from your player board and put it on your other player board. That's the game. Rinse, repeat until the end of the 3rd round, and then see who wins. The heart of the game is when you're placing your tile onto your hex player board. This is really a cool looking thing. Basically, you have a personal player board that shows you all the tiles and what they do, and it's a place to put your resources. And then the other player board, where you're actually placing your tiles, is made up of different colored hexes. It's cool looking and is really what intrigued me about the game when I saw pictures. So once again, the heart of the game is when you're placing your tiles from their holding area on one of your player board, on your one player board onto the hex group of the other player board. This part is very similar to Castles of Burgundy. Each tile you place has a different action that triggers once you lay it. There's also a scoring bonus when you complete colored areas, as well as another scoring bonus when you fill up all of a certain color, just like Castles of Burgundy. The abilities of the tiles are fun, and the game is good. But for a second, I want to talk about something we've talked about before called Sturgeon's Law. Do you guys remember Sturgeon's Law?
Yeah.
I touched a bit about it a bunch of episodes ago, but I feel it applies to what I want to say about my final thoughts with this game. Sturgeon's Law is stated as 90% of everything is crap. Right? When I was trying to come up with how I felt about this game, I couldn't really put my finger on what it was that I was feeling about it. The game is good. There's nothing wrong with it at all that I can see. The mechanisms are sound, mechanics. It's designed well. But I wasn't really finding myself happy with it, and I wasn't sure why. If I don't like it or want to play it again, surely there should be some reason, right? Well, if I apply Sturgeon's Law here, this game is not in that 90% of everything that's crap. This is in that 10%. It's not crap, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's good. So I'm proposing the James Law as an extension of Sturgeon's Law that says, of that 10% of stuff that's not crap, 90% of that is good, not great.
Oh.
And this is falling right into that. There's nothing in this game that does anything badly, but there's also nothing in this game that's particularly fun or awesome. It's just very middle of the road, like an audio compressor. What an audio compressor does is it removes the clippy high parts and the unintelligible low parts, and what you're left with is something in the middle, and that's this game.
The levelator.
It's got no lows, but it's got no highs. It's the James Law. 90% of the 10% that's not crap is just okay.
Okay. So the 10% of the 10% are great.
Yeah, the 10% of the 10% should be great.
Are great.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's going to be written, the written definition of James Law, and it's going on my tombstone as my legacy. Scribe it in stone.
I'll put it on
90% of the 10% that's not crap is just okay. So this game is good, not great. It's not bad. There's nothing I can say about it that I don't like other than the components. But it's not really that fun. It's got some cool things that just really aren't super fun to do. When we finished it, I was like, okay, cool. Like, we just walked down a street in the neighborhood that we hadn't walked down before. It looked the same as a lot of other streets, and it wasn't a bad time, but there was nothing special or fun about it. It was just another street. The Castles of Tuscany is just another street. You're not going to go out of your way to walk down it on your next walk, but if you happen to find yourself on it, you're not going to turn around and leave it. But you also wouldn't care if you never walked down it ever again. Does that make any sense? So that's my thoughts. It's very, very good, not great. And I want to hear what you think, Natalie.
Me too.
Okay. So
So let me tell you about this.
Natalie's Law.
Can I tell you what happened while you were talking?
I made up a law too.
So while you were talking, I asked Natalie. You were like,
Yeah, that was very
until
distracting,
someone wins.
Natalie. Yeah.
Until someone wins. I was
Yeah.
like, was it you? I pointed at Natalie. Was it you? And Natalie was
Of
like,
course, I can't remember.
I don't
the
know.
fucking thing.
I'm like, okay. So then Natalie lifts up the back of the box to look at what the game looked like, and then she went, definitely not. Definitely not.
You didn't remember? We just played it
What it looked
yesterday.
like.
No, we didn't.
2 days ago. We just played it 2
She
days
looked-
ago.
I don't know. I have a memory problem.
I don't
But it was great.
know.
Sorry.
But it's like when I look. It's like when I look at the picture, everything comes floating back.
I won this one by.
Yeah, when I
lot.
looked, as soon as I saw the scoreboard, I was like, "Oh fuck yeah!"
Yeah.
Yeah, she
I
was like,
totally
oh
lost
boy.
this game.
Yeah,
She
we
was
were
like-
like in round 2, and she was like, "What? Just-
Definitely
What does it
not.
matter? What does it matter? I don't even know what it matters. Does it matter? What does it matter? Doesn't matter.
Let's hear what it matters.
Doesn't
Let's
matter.
hear, let's
Does
hear
it
about
matter?
it.
What does it matter?
Well,
Should we finish? What does it matter? You won anyway. What does it matter?
Did you really say that? No. I was like, that would be great if she got to that
really
level.
remember
It's so funny.
that.
No, you didn't. I think you were thinking it though, because we were like playing for a while, and then after a while, you were just like, "Well, okay, I guess you just get 30 points. So, well, I'm just sitting here back at nothing." There was like one tile I took.
I know what it was. You ended the round right before I was about to get a bunch more points.
That's right.
And I was like, "Well, yeah." Although I still lost. I was still a little lost. Anyways,
Yeah, that's right. That happened, and you were just like, "Well, what does it matter?
I just thought I don't
does it
think
matter?
I can catch up to you.
You want to go play?
Does
the next
this matter?
round?
What
Doesn't
does it matter?
I don't know why it matters. You think it matters? Nothing matters.
Anyways.
Castles of Tuscany.
I had a very, very similar thoughts. I thought it was a very good game. What?
You had a very, very similar thoughts.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter now.
Okay. I also have nothing negative to say about it. I liked the similarities to Burgundy with placing the tiles in the regions, and then when you place the tiles, it gives you benefits. Just like Castles of Burgundy, I like the player board and the actions / benefits that were on it. I'd even say it was definitely better than Good Not Great, but it's hard not to compare it to Castles of Burgundy.
It's hard.
And Castle of Burgundy is just better. I mean, it just is, and I feel like, although we were excited because it's related to Castle of Burgundy, I feel like it was like set up to fail because for us because we love Castle of
Yeah, the
Burgundy so
name
much.
For a
almost
lot of
kind of
people.
dooms it. The name
Yeah.
kind of dooms it. You
This
see
game-
Castles of Sorry, go on.
No, it's okay. I was
Doesn't
just gonna
matter.
say this
Doesn't
game is definitely lighter and more gateway-ish in my opinion than like Castle of Burgundy, and yeah, I just don't know if I'd ever choose to play it. Like it's like different but also really similar in my opinion.
Yeah, there is a
And
lot that's similar about it.
Similar enough
You're right.
that I don't know if I would ever like pick this over Castle of Burgundy.
90% of the 10% that's not crap is just
9%
okay.
of the 10%. That's it. 9% of the 10%. Do the
I
math.
need to like get that like quoted and like put it up.
It's quoted. I'll put it on the internet.
I mean,
It's got to be true if I put it there.
like frame the quote or something. Yeah, that's my thought.
10% of the stuff that's not crap,
Bro.
90% of that is good, not great. So that's the Castles of Tuscany, designed by Stefan Feldkondom. Right?
Yep.
Why are you
Yeah.
looking at me like that? You're looking at.
I had a question. On the box, it's got like a little square, and it's one square says like 2 to 4 players, and one says like 10 plus, one says like 45 to 60 minutes, and then there's a light bulb that says 3 out of 10.
Oh, that
That would be like the heaviness of it.
Yeah, the weight.
I've
right.
never seen that on a box.
The only time I've seen that on random boxes, so that, and I know that a lot of the Uwe games has those things that says like family or medium or like his new one says like expert level or something.
Really?
Yeah,
It's a good. I think it's a very useful kind of metric to put
I
on
agree.
a box. If you're especially if you're someone who's not super into, you're not like a hardcore gamer like us. Maybe you're more of a non, and you go by and you see, oh wow, this is only
Or
a
you're
3
at
light
the
bulb.
store and looking
Light
at
bulb's
them
only a
and-
3.
and
But does this
you don't have to
game succumb to
research it.
James' law?
I think it's 90% of the 10%. It's right in that 90% of the 10%.
So that's the games that we've been playing. Jeff, you got anything else, man, or are you all done?
Does Praga fall in the 90% of the 10%?
I think
90% of the 10% is
Or-
just okay.
I think Praga is in the 10% of the 10%.
10%. Okay,
I think so.
that's good. That's 10%.
so, too.
I think it's in the
It's not the
10%.
90% of the 10%. It's in the 10% of the 10%.
We'll divide it even further later on, because I think Praga. When I played Castles of Tuscany, after I was done with it, I was just kind of like, I don't even
You knew that was in the 90%.
Yeah, I was like,
10%.
why is this even a thing? It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Because
matter.
he's required to produce a certain amount of games every year, and this is
That's how it felt to me. I was just kind of like, okay, he just like put a bunch of stuff out that he knows is going to work,
Yeah.
but. It's funny too, because I was reading the rules and I was like, "Oh, this sounds great." And then we played it, and I was like, "No."
Yeah, same thing. Because I started
more like
reading the
90% of
rules,
the
not
90%
knowing
of the
that you already
10%.
read the rules, and I was like, "This sounds so awesome!" But
Yeah.
and it was really good, but
But
not.
I think Prague is
so
in 10% of the
awesome.
10%. It's just more time will tell.
I feel like Tuscany's in like
Oh boy.
the
dead air.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Kind of think.
You got to have something,
But I
lady.
decide. I think I want to say like in
Our
maybe
microphone's
like
shut off.
The 30% of the 10%.
I can't do
get
all
your
that. I
own
can't do
law.
all that.
You're
math.
saying
Get your
that
own law.
you're saying that Tuscany's
good, not great.
in the 10%.
Tuscany is in the 90%
of the 10%.
of the 10%. That's
Okay.
good, not great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, not great.
And Praga Caput Regni, I think, is in the 10% of the 10%. That's great.
Yeah.
Because only 10% of that 10% is great.
Yep.
90% of the original 100% is crap, right?
Oh, yeah.
10% of that 100% is not crap, but 90% of that 10% is good, not great, and 10% of that 10% is great.
Are you expecting me to follow you?
You can sit there.
We're not going anywhere. We have at least another hour left to record.
All right, Jeff, what else you got, man?
Well, let's talk about a game that's only released in Iceland. We've been looking to
Really?
increase our our Icelandic listeners,
yeah, we have.
and
Gosh.
let's start
I'm really sorry. I'm gonna Ryan you right now.
and eat something or
No,
take your socks off onto the table.
Ryan, he's been like watching this thing on YouTube called Oversimplified,
Yes.
and one of the things was like, or no, it wasn't even oversimplified. It was the history of the world,
Okay.
and I think it was like talking about how
That
like
Bill Wirtz or
like
whatever.
I don't remember who, but somebody like traveled to like Greenland and Iceland and named them.
The opposite.
They named them Greenland and Iceland. They're like, I know, we'll come up with whatever's on these lands. Greenland, Iceland.
There you go.
Cool. That's right.
I've always heard
remember.
that as being like the opposite.
What? What are you pointing at me?
That's what people always say is the
Don't point your
opposite.
pen
is
at
that
me, lady.
Greenland is covered in ice, and why is it
Iceland
called
is very
Greenland?
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this game is only released in Iceland. Oh, Natalie's leaving us.
No, come back. You're beautiful.
She's going to the bathroom. You're gonna miss this Icelandic game.
I hate seeing you leave, but I love watching you go.
So this game is called. How would you pronounce this game, Ryan?
Runner.
Runir.
Probably
Runir.
Runir.
Runir. That's what I called it multiple times.
But it's
while
kind of
we were
funny to
playing.
call it Runner.
Runner. Runir.
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 Runner.
Yeah. So it's only released in Iceland, but as I talked to Gamia Games, who was nice enough to send this to me, they're looking for, publishers around the world to
Sure.
get this game out. So maybe someone listening will
They
want
want to get
to
it the
go
hell out of
grab
Iceland.
this game.
Oh my God, get it out of here.
Of Iceland.
I hate this. Get this crap
Yeah.
game out of here.
So it's a dice rolling game for 2 to 4 people. It takes
Nice.
like 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. Devin and I
Really?
finished in
That's
20
quick.
minutes.
Okay.
I think with more people, you'd probably play 30 minutes. So, add more people.
Oh man,
So,
that's good stuff.
Players are attempting to carve rune stones and use their energy crystals to score the most points. Duh. Right, Ryan?
Right.
So I'll repeat that. You're going to carve rune stones and use your energy crystals to score points.
Yeah, of course.
So the energy crystals are similar, like the same cut that like every game makes crystals out of, like Istanbul, which I like.
Those
as
are
a cut.
sweet. Yeah.
These are cool. Like they're
Ascension has those
translucent.
too.
They're very like they're vibrant colors, so they look pretty cool. It comes in a smaller box. I can't even think of like a box size. Maybe like a Team 3 box size.
Oh.
A smaller box, but it's pretty cool. It has like a magnet, so it kind of opens and shuts with like a magnet, sort of like that premium love letter.
Yeah.
Had.
Okay.
So think of it like that. It opens up, and the board consists of like 4 small sections, and they kind of click together. Okay, so it comes with 6 different sections, and there's 4 that you randomly choose and click them together to make a small board.
How do you click them? Are they
Like
magnetic?
a puzzle?
No, they're like puzzle. They're like puzzle
pieces?
pieces, and they click together.
I'm
So
click together this puzzle.
We'll put together. Yeah.
You're the one that guessed. How did you know?
What do you mean?
I was like, how do you click them together? Like magnet? You're like a puzzle?
I was asking.
Yeah,
I didn't know what you meant.
Should I
by
just say?
click
Should I have said
either.
putting them together instead?
No, we're gonna go with clicking.
Yeah.
That's the Madigan law.
Click them together. Click. Made a clicking noise when I put them together. Click. So these 4 sections of the board, they're covered in runestones. Shockingly, some of them bronze, some of them silver, and some of them gold.
Okay.
And your turn consists of taking these 6 dice and rolling them. All of these symbols on the dice are matching these different runestones. Okay, and the runestones have, the bronze ones have 2 or 3 symbols on them. The silver has 3, and the gold has 4 or 5 of these symbols on them. And what you're doing is you're using those dice to match the symbols on the runestone. So as soon as you do that, you take one of your energy crystals. Natalie, you missed this part.
Yep.
You take your energy crystal and you put it on the runestone that you have carved.
Okay.
Okay, you with me, Natalie?
Sure.
Holy
you
cow!
just click them
Real
together.
quick, do you know the
Yeah.
designer's name?
No, oh no. You want to say it?
Svavar Bjorgvinsson.
Sounds
Svavar
Icelandic.
Bjorgvinsson.
There has to be a better way, right? Like a way that rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
That we can't. Our stupid Americans can't.
Svavar
We just don't have the right accent.
Bjorgvinsson. Well, I think that's. I was listening to, and I don't want to derail this too long, but you know how I was watching this person stream on Twitch, and she's of Asian descent, and she was explaining why it's difficult for people of Asian descent to say L and R, and she was saying because in a lot of their dialects they don't have that sound.
Isn't that
in their
strange
language.
to think
Right, so it's
that?
not
So the
something that's
L would just
inherent,
never
yeah.
come out of their mouth, and so they see it in English and they mess it up.
Yeah.
which is
That
it
is
was interesting.
It's interesting. So, Iceland.
Sorry,
Right? Anyway, where was I? No, that's okay. Yeah. Savar Borgensen.
Some gems or something.
Yeah, if I've been talking to Savar Borgensen. I just want us to get Icelandic listeners.
Yeah,
The
me
Infinity
too.
Stone.
So anyway, so you're matching these symbols, and you're putting your energy crystal on that symbol, on the runestone that you've done. Once you have created or carved the runestone, you take a little token of the matching color. So if you made a bronze one, you could take a bronze one. You could also do multiple. So if you had 3 pairs that made up 3 different bronze ones, you could use all 3 of your crystals, and you take 3 bronze tokens. And the game continues until you've used all of your energy crystals. The person who runs out of energy crystals, that ends the game. You have points that you can earn throughout the game. There's some in-game goals. The goals match things like, have an energy crystal on each one of the boards, or have 3 bronze ones done, whatever. So you're earning these points throughout the game. And then on the back of all the tokens that you have grabbed throughout the game are points. So they're like hidden points almost. So if I grab a bronze one, it could be 1, 2, or 3 points. If I grab a silver, it's more. Gold is, 9, 8, 9, whatever
Game
points.
looks cool.
And you get more points for those. So even though I made 3 bronze ones in the first on my turn, I might only get 4 points. And if I would have saved them and done a gold one, I could have gotten way more points. So there are also these cool, on each board there's a power that you can use, but you have to use one of your energy crystals to use that power. So maybe it's a reroll, maybe it's you can place on the same one that you've already placed before. So there's cool powers that you can use, but you have to use one of your energy crystals, which wouldn't be used for points, but it's used to trigger one of these cool
Is
powers.
it true if you
Like
don't use it, you
Sagrada.
lose it?
Well, you did the game designs. Was that your question?
No.
Oh, did you have another one?
No, that was from Saturday Night Live.
Oh.
Sorry.
Reminded me of. I have a question. How dare you?
Yeah, from the office.
Yeah, from the office.
Do you have a question, Kelly? Yes, I have lots of questions. First one, how dare you?
Yeah.
Number 1, how dare you?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really quick game. It takes 20 minutes, like I said, and it reminds me of a roll and write. Right, where you're rolling and you're trying to match or create these different symbols, but
you're not actually writing anything.
Yeah, it's way more. It's more highly produced. It's a much better looking game. The art is pretty cool. The gems are awesome. The dice are nice and chunky. The symbols are unique. So 2 of the symbols look very similar, and Devin and I were kind of mixing them up, which is probably the only thing that I would like.
Did you use the box to roll the dice in?
Yep. Yeah. So when the box unfolds, think of the premium love letter. It unfolds. On one side of the box is just open, so we roll the dice in there. The other side is the board where you keep track of your points and where you put the in-game tokens as well as the tokens you get throughout the game. So you put everything like there on the box.
I love games that do that.
So the footprint of the box is literally like a foot by 6 inches. It's like that. You can play the entire game, and then you could have the board next to it. So it kind of
reminds me of the Biblios box. You remember that game?
Yeah, exactly.
It's got the magnetic opening thing too. It looks that size.
And you'd have the board next to it. So it has a very small footprint, which is really cool. Rolling and matching is nothing new, right? So I'm glad they added something. They added the race to put your gems out.
Yeah.
They added that little thing of like, oh man, that power is really awesome, but I have to waste one of my gems to use it. So that gem isn't getting points, but I can do something really cool.
Like Sagrada.
Yeah, exactly. So I liked that I just liked the powers in general, that you could do something else other than, if you just roll something that you don't get, then it's like, okay, well, I can't do anything, right? But you could use these powers to do something cool. And yeah, it was overall a fun game. I think it could be something that hits the table a lot because it's 20 minutes. If you don't want to play a roll and write, you want to play something like a little better produced, I think this is like a step above it.
So people can get it or no?
I think people can get it, but it's going to be something that you go to Gamia websites. They would then ship it out. But it's only really released.
Because I'm on Board Game Geek. There is not one forum thread. So this is hot.
Yes.
This is like hot off the press. That means it's so new, no one's even done anything.
Yeah, I believe so. Don't quote me, but I'm not sure if it was.
Hot meant popular.
Yeah, they just shipped it out recently in Iceland. So it's in like game stores throughout Iceland.
You got an Iceland contact?
And they sent me, a copy to then play and
Sweet.
Put it on Instagram and talk about it here.
That's awesome.
So
you heard it here first.
It's basically it's basically the first. This is the first printing of the game. So
this is the first time anyone has said Svavar Bjorgvinsson on the podcast.
Boom. Runir,
designer of Runir.
So check it out if you're a publisher and you're interested in buying randomly taking Runir. You can do it, but it's cool.
Sweet. That's very awesome. I would now like to take a quick second to talk to you all about the Gateway Board Gaming Network, which you can find at www.thegatewaynetwork.com and the Gateway Network on Instagram. The sole purpose of this network is to help new or up-and-coming content creators grow by shouting each other out. If you go to the Gateway Network website, you will find other amazing content creators who are trying to grow as well. They are all amazing people who produce fantastic content. Today, I want to specifically highlight everyone on the network itself.
Whoa.
We currently have 20 members of the network at this time, ranging from awesome podcasts like this one to the Board Game Snobs, Date Night Dice, Superboard Sunday, Fantasy and Some Flights, Friday Night Games, a couple games. There's also YouTube channels like Meeple Mentor, Meeple People Comedy, Brian's Got Game, Being Friends, Mr. Board Gamer, Me, Myself, and Dice. And then there's websites like whatboardgame.com or Gnomebot Studios. And then there's Instagram accounts like the Mick Meeples, Eat Drink Game, the Midwestern Meeple, Bad Board Game Covers, and even Twitch accounts now like the Charity Board Gamer. Each of these fabulous content creators are working very hard to earn your subscription or your follow or your like. They're out there under the radar trying to break through, so let's help them do it. Whatever kind of content you're looking for, the Gateway will have it. If you're a newer board game content creator and you're looking for a way to grow your content, please consider heading over to thegatewaynetwork.com to learn more. Okay, calm down, everyone. It's finally time for this episode's Instagram Inbox.
And now it's time for the Instagram Inbox with the Mad Board Gamer.
Welcome to the Instagram Inbox. I am the Mad Board Gamer, and here we are. Before we start, you said Board Game Snobs earlier.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to the board, if you don't like us and you want to hear us get made fun of for minutes, feel free to listen
any
to
episode that they do.
The last
the Board
10
Game
episodes
Snobs.
of the Board Game Snobs.
Jerry seems to just hate us, and
Mostly you.
mostly me. So if you hate me, this would be a good way. If you think I'm a terrible person,
Like
so does Jerry.
that was so funny. He like says this whole thing. He's like, you go to whatboardgame.com. Jim Gamer will always get back to you. And it's dead air. Unlike Jeff.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, all right,
Best
well.
is that Jerry's like so mean, and then Gabi's always like, "What's your problem with that?"
Yeah, I know. That's funny.
Why do you hate them so much?
Yeah. So whatever that girl's name is, her name's Natalie.
Yeah, I know. It's Natalie. And they call you Brian all the time. It's Brian and Natalie. Yeah. So anyway, back to the Instagram inbox. So last episode, if you tuned in, if you didn't, go back and download it at least.
You filthy animal.
And you filthy animal. Keep the change. We talked about our favorite 2020 games, which could be changing as we speak. Who knows if Praga might have been on your list.
Could be.
Anyway, I reached out. I posted twice of what was everybody else's favorite 2020 game. And the first thing that I tried to phrase this different, like, I didn't know how to phrase this of like released in 2020 versus some people responded with their favorite game they played in 2020.
Yeah,
so
right.
reading it, depending how you read it.
Right. No, we don't want those.
Yeah, the vast majority of these were 2020
Correctly
games.
answered.
2020 surgery.
So, this is a game that I'm really interested in as well, and I know Ryan has been jonesing to play it as well.
Wait for this one. What is it?
It's Polis.
Yeah, fight for the hegemony.
So that game looks awesome. So Son of Thunder is all about that game. Loved it. I'm looking forward to that one as well.
I'm guessing the newest Capstone. Is it Capstone?
No, it's a Devere game.
Oh, Devere. Oh, right, Devere.
Oh, it makes sense.
The newest Devere. Why does
That's
it
the
make
same
sense?
as the Silk, right?
Yeah, why does that make sense?
I don't know. I just picture
This
something
one
like
is-
Silk in my
No.
head.
Eon's better than
Polis has been
Silk.
around for years and years.
Really?
And it was an amazing, like
Is it like a roly-poly?
It's like,
a roll. It has nothing to do with bugs.
Well, I mean,
Hey, they also made Red Cathedral, which was amazing. It's not just they didn't make all weird bug games. Poor Devere Games makes all these bug games. Roly
was it
poly,
like a roly-poly?
roly polis.
Is that why you said that? Rollus Polis?
Rollus polis.
Oh my
giant
god!
roly-poly
No, it's like
on
a
the
Euro war. It's like a Waro,
Yeah.
a war game, Euro game that has been out for many, many moons, but it went out of print like almost instantly, and people talk about it as being one of the awesome games about roly polies.
About roly poly. And Devere brought it back in 2020. So this one would have been on both of your lists if you would have changed your rules a little bit. So On Mars, Fantasy and Some Flights
Yep,
loves On
sure.
Mars.
Yeah.
That's what I'm pumped. I'm pumped to get On Mars,
So
and
good.
I have Kanban coming.
Yep.
So
Oh, yeah.
I have them both. I'm just like,
Yeah, I know.
jonesing to get both
Well,
of
it sucks
those.
is people that only backed Kanban only,
Yeah.
got them.
I know. I'm like,
And we
I'm mad.
have bundles, so we're not getting ours.
Give me my
later.
Give me my bundle.
For later.
Fundle with the bundle.
yeah.
So these people love The Crew, which was
yeah.
on your list and would have been on Nata's list if she wasn't so angry.
Yeah.
So The Crew, Miss French Toast loves The Screw. The Screw.
Miss French
Maybe she loves The Screw too. Oh boy. Sorry, Sam.
Miss French
Maybe she does.
loves the screw.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why she's on Tinder, I think.
Who doesn't love The Screw, really?
It's a good.
That was her favorite game in 2020.
That was my most played
The
game
Screw, yeah.
of the year.
How many times play
The
that?
screw.
Lost count.
So,
Toast loves
The Crew, as well as Noodles play, and Curtis.
They all love the screw.
Curtis Howland loves The Screw. They all love The Screw.
I called him Curtis Sholin before, and it's Curtis
You
Howland.
did?
Yeah, Curtis Howland.
Well, because it's all like one.
It's like mushed
word.
together. Yeah.
So the
I
S and the
gotcha.
H look like they're together.
So Sheer Boredom, his favorite game was Underwater Cities, which is my favorite game, but that's a couple years ago. It's the first time he played
Good.
it.
You know what? Good. I'm glad you mentioned Sheer Boredom. Sheer Boredom is the newest member of the Gateway Network.
Ooh, welcome.
Yes, they are not currently up on the website at this time, but we
get
just accepted him
free
into the fold recently.
Haircuts now.
Yes, that was the only stipulation.
Yes, Gateway members get free haircuts.
Yes.
Cool. You just have to go
Absolutely.
to him. So if you live near him,
Massachusetts
Wait, he can't do
or
it
wherever.
virtually?
damn,
If he could just like tell me.
maybe.
Right
You
hand.
can do like a tutorial.
Yeah.
Move 3 inches this way.
So Fossilis, Family Meeple. Family Meeple loves Fossilis, which
Okay.
you guys played.
Yep.
Family Meeple also won my giveaway on Instagram, which was
Wow.
Potion Explosion.
It
Family
was Family
Meeple's
Meeple.
great.
Nice.
Yeah, it was about
And
8,000 people entered that one.
God, way too many.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It was cool. It was almost 198 people, 97 people
Wow.
entered.
Jeez.
So it's pretty cool.
Couldn't even get 100, huh?
I'm gonna do more. Yeah, I know.
Oh, God.
What a bad. Yeah.
That's mean.
I suck. Yeah. All right, what did the game I just
like
asked?
3,000 more followers, and he's not hurting.
What was the game I just asked you to pronounce?
Nippolis.
Oh, Natalie.
Nicholas. Yeah, this is definitely getting.
Nidavalier.
Nidavalier is the McMeeple's favorite. Roly poly.
That's a funny name.
Nidavalier is the McMeeple's favorite, like by far. Was like Sam was like, this is it.
Wow,
Great.
and they have
game.
horrible taste, so it must be
So
bad.
it must be really good. Good or bad. So ZimV 2.0 likes the game Cafe, which I never didn't play Cafe. Don't even
I've not
know
heard of
about
that.
Cafe.
Cafe.
So might be one I have to look
I'm
up.
questioning its realism.
Was on Natalie's list. Grand Carnival. Ooh. Fred Z Games.
Here it is.
You find
Cafe.
it?
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah, it's a game.
It's real.
Is it short for cafeteria?
No.
No, it's short for just Cafe.
Yep. Place cards efficiently to process and deliver coffee in early 20th century Portugal. What the fuck? These themes are
Of course.
so
That's what you
weird.
gotta do.
What the hell? Okay, good.
Is it board game or bullshit? Pan Am, which was on my honorable mentions, one of my biggest surprises of 2020. Fred Z Green, Midwestern Meeple.
Oh, shit.
Another Gateway
Yep,
member,
he's a Gateway
Midwestern
man.
Meeple.
The Midwestern Meeple.
The Dwellings of Eldervale,
Okay,
which is a
that's
game I'm
everywhere. People, yeah.
I'm
Really?
super excited to play.
I think it was a Kickstarter that just kind of
Yes,
recently
it
hit.
looks so cool. That's Swoozle, our buddy Swoozle.
Mick has it, I think.
Yeah, I'm excited. That one looks awesome. Sorcerer City with the wonderful
Yeah.
With the coins?
That would be our buddy
Did they
Frankie.
say that? Did he say that?
We talked about the coins.
Oh, okay.
We talked about I think I don't know if I mentioned he mentioned like basically just I just want the coins like.
Yeah.
The
Without the
game's
coins,
great.
it won't
I
be
might
his
just get the
number one.
coins. Like, why not just have the coins? They're
cool.
So that was Frankie from Rex Games, who
Not my sister.
Another
Super
we're
Horde
just
Sunday.
adding.
Yep.
Yeah. Tainted
Yeah, not your
Grail,
sister.
which I haven't played, but looks awesome.
I've been waiting on that damn thing for like 2 years.
Oh, that's the one.
I got,
Still not coming
so
yet?
I have Aetherfields.
Yeah.
That was the campaign that was after
Yeah.
Tainted Grail, and I still don't have Tainted Grail.
That was
'cause-
A.S.
the shipping
Kovalev.
together thing.
Yeah, because it all shipped together.
Yeah,
Damn it.
A.S. Kovalev 86. This was the most popular one. Everybody is jumping on boards of
not
this.
the
This
screw?
is- It's not the screw. Well, if they knew the screw was a game, then they would have
they
been all
would've
over that, but they didn't know that.
Sam's ahead of her time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Lost Ruins of Arnak
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
baby.
that's
are
hot.
just killing it. So,
I'm telling you, I have not heard one bad thing about
Me
this
either.
game yet.
Really?
so all the points blog, Meeple Mentor, Spooky Gems Tabletop, and Tabletop Vibes all love
That's the
the
one I
Lost
bought you for Christmas.
Ruins.
What? I thought it was Santa.
Ruins. Oh, yeah, Santa bought it. No, just
I
blame
did.
Santa.
Rupee.
It's great. Jaws of the Lion is Jim Gamer's favorite.
Cool.
And I think with more plays of that, I've only played it maybe 4 times.
Yeah.
With more plays of that could go up
Plus,
too.
there's also something about, that's not that I'm typecasting you, but that's probably not your go-to style.
Correct. No,
of game,
absolutely.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
You can typecast me. That's not my go-to, but it is. It is an awesome game. I see the appeal
I don't
of
want
that.
to typecast or pigeonhole or
Yeah.
roly pole.
Yeah. Roly polis.
I don't want to roly pole you.
Gonna roly poly.
Honey Buzz, which is another one I'm
Yeah.
really interested in playing.
Honey
that was
Buzz?
yeah,
It's about
Honey Buzz.
bees.
That's Zadi Plays Games favorite, and I know a lot of people are loving
It
that
looks
one.
sweet.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It looks really cool.
Sky Tear, have you heard of this?
Nope.
So this is Evan's over at Being Friends favorite.
Sky Tear.
Sky
It's
Tear?
a collectible, a card. I think it's card collectible, right? What are those things called? CCGs.
Okay.
He loves it. My gosh, he was like talking to me on Instagram about it today, and was just like couldn't say anything bad about this game. It was
Really?
just amazing.
called
So he
again?
was super
Sky
pumped.
Tear or Sky Tier?
I asked him. I said, "Is it
tear. It
like
doesn't look like it has
crying
a tear
or yeah?"
going
I'm like,
in
"Is it crying or ripping?" What's
Yeah.
the?
Yeah, crying or ripping.
He confirmed it was. He thinks
It's ripping?
It's ripping. Yeah.
The dots or feathers?
Yeah. Friday Night
so
Games
funny.
love Dune Imperium, which I know is sitting in front of me
Yep.
and is a game I'm jonesing to play as
also,
well.
real quick, look at
Ryan
isn't
is
that
obsessed
so
with it.
awesome?
It's awesome.
I love how they use the exact same thing for every letter.
Yeah, it
it's
looks
like a
cool.
U shape, but
Yeah, they use it for the D. They
just
use
the
turn
U
it.
turns
Yeah, they
sideways,
just turn it,
U,
right.
and then the N, and
Gosh, that's cool.
So
he talks about it every time.
Title Blades came up
Okay.
from CP Wilson, and they Chris also said, "I don't care what Ryan thinks."
yeah, I don't. I mean, it's okay.
I like it.
It's
So a recent friend of mine on Instagram, Emily Michelle 330 is her name. Her answer was Far Away, which I talked about a few
Yep,
episodes ago.
okay.
She also works for Cherry Pick Games.
Of
So that
course
was-
she does.
It was just so funny.
What a
Yeah,
shill.
I was like, well, of course you put that one. So that
Yeah.
was really funny. She just got married too. Congratulations.
All right, hooray.
Mr. Measles said Parks, and I asked him if he played
Cool.
the expansion. He has yet to get back to me because the expansion came out in 2020.
I didn't know he liked it that much.
So I'll throw that into his if the expansion came out in 2020, I'll get it to him.
Yeah, because that was the last year game.
Dog-powered vehicle, liked Super Skill Pinball 4Cade. Have you heard of that at all?
No, it's just supposed to be board games.
Oh, I know. I had to look it up.
That's
Super
a board
Sk-
game?
It's a roll and write pinball game. So each
Wow.
sheet is like a pinball.
Super skill
So he said it was cool.
pinball.
It has cool art.
arcade. Wow, terrible. name.
Meeple Memo says Calico, which you guys thought was
We did not like that game.
didn't like. It was a good game, right? But you didn't.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it.
yeah. It was. I really think it needs something extra.
Yeah. And then Peter, his favorite game of 2020 was Just Don't Die of COVID. That was his game, which he's
game.
currently successful at.
I like that game. He's winning.
He's winning.
Good for him.
It's a game that I think we're continuing to play in 2021.
Yep,
At
so
least
far.
for a little bit. But those were people's favorite. And none of these things jumped out at me as like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people loved a lot. I think there are some really standout games in 2020.
22 was a good year.
Because we talk,
no
again,
one said
listening
Merv.
listening to this, I know, listening to our old episodes, we kind of bashed a little bit on 2019, if you remember. So I'm curious how 2020 games will hold
do.
up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because really, you look at 2019 of like that was Wingspan, right? So Wingspan was the 2019
Yeah.
game, but there might be a lot
Wasn't
more
that
upper tier
many
games.
more.
Maybe there's no one that's
Yeah, but and honestly, even Wingspan was. I mean, it was so popular. But personally, I thought it was just a average game.
Sure, but
maybe a
it's-
little above average.
yeah.
But yeah, to be game. That was the game. Of
that
the
was
year.
the game. Yeah, but
Right.
maybe there's
That
more
was
top tier
everywhere.
games this
yeah,
year. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. We got a lot to get through.
So that was the inbox.
Sweet.
Nice.
Good. I like listening to all
Well,
the
we learned
games
some
that.
about some new 2020 games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, some super skill pinball 4K. Mm-hmm. Well, this is it. We teased it last episode. Natalie is going to be. She's got this look on her face.
Uh-oh.
Natalie is going to be doing a new segment. What will she have in store for us? Is it just going to be a lesson on how to survive husbandly fart jokes? Who knows? Find out now on Natalie's Nook. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Do you have a do you have
Is that
a, do
stupid?
you have a
Is that like
song
your
for
vagina?
this?
Natalie's Nook.
That's so funny.
Crawl inside Natalie's Nook.
Did you see that little thing I put up? What kind of reindeer
real
was Natalie?
Stop! What'd you,
Are you cutting this out?
what did you just say?
Remember on my you know how I do those like goofy little
Yeah.
what happens in the episode posts that you the
Yeah.
two of you are the only ones that like.
Yeah.
I put like what kind of reindeer is Natalie on there
Natalie, the brown hole
because he called you a brown hole
Remember
reindeer
that?
on that one. Did you not get that one?
Had a really smelly
I was like, I
hole.
don't remember that part.
That part was new. You just added that. That was in the last one.
Ryan?
Sorry, I'll stop.
Jamie.
I will stop. Let's hear your new segment. I can't wait.
All right, back to Natalie's Nook.
And if you ever
Well, that's so funny that you called it Natalie's Nook because I was like, now I feel now I
Sounds
don't
like
want to
dirty.
read
I know
my
it's,
little
it's,
like a dirty
it's
thing
kind
a
of like a
little bit.
vaginal thing.
Ooh.
What's that? No.
No, the Red Cathedral.
Well, I was gonna say something about how my new segment doesn't have a name.
I like
So
Natalie's.
if anyone has any suggestions, but seems like
can't
Ryan already
I can't
named
think
it
of anything
without
else.
telling me. So
We'll brainstorm.
Natalie's Nook.
I'm big
No,
on
what you should
alliteration
do
here.
is
Instagram inbox,
ask-
board game beatdown.
Ask
Natalie's
Instagram.
Nook.
Put it on Instagram and
Yeah,
say
that's what I
like
was
this.
gonna
Natalie had a
do.
new thing. Let's see
If
what
you
her
want,
Nook looks
I'm going
like.
to call it Natalie's Nook,
Yeah.
regardless
I
of what you do.
Well,
Let me
this
tell
segment
you.
and the other segment's called Natalie's Nook.
In the bedroom, too.
Yeah. All right. What's going on
What
with
do
your
you
Nook?
got? What's in your Nook? Show us all what's in your Nook, Natalie.
Yeah, let's see your Nook.
Let's
Let's check it out.
check it out.
Well,
Bow, bow.
after that fantastic
Yeah, sorry.
introduction.
Sorry, sweetheart.
So yeah, I was trying to think of a new segment because the board game beatdown is just going to be on a hiatus for a little bit because it was getting kind of stale.
Yep.
Apparently it's
Just
called
like-
Natalie's Nook.
Just like the inbox, but I keep doing that. No,
Your
I'm just
Nook is fresh.
kidding. All right, freshen up that Nook.
Anyways, my plan is to hopefully come up with some topics to discuss with my fellow hosts, and the first one that I came up with to discuss today is called
Do you know it?
No.
Laws of Board Games.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Laws of what?
Logs.
Logs.
Lods.
The screw.
Log.
Logs.
That's awesome.
It gets better.
I'm so glad that I messed up like that. That's
Better than
great.
that. It's good.
Sam's gonna love that part.
Law
the screw.
of Board Games.
Okay, the law of board
The
games.
laws
Okay.
of board gaming.
Oh, laws.
Sure.
Okay.
This is not a very professional segment. Okay.
Big, it's heavy, it's wood.
So, anyways, if you just shut up for a second.
We broke her. That's great. All right. Zip it. Natalie, now you know how I felt the first time I tried to explain a game.
Remember earlier when you apologized for interrupting me? I told you you don't have to ever apologize. Just shut up a second. Oh my gosh. Okay, continue.
Oh God. Okay.
If you can get through it. I liked what you said.
So I came across something online that had a bunch of like Murphy's Law type laws, but related to board games.
Okay.
And so I wanted to discuss a few of them with you because I thought they were really funny and really relatable.
Do you want to say what Murphy's Law is before we start so people know?
Isn't Murphy's Law the one where it's like anything that can go wrong will go wrong?
I think so.
Kind of thing.
Yep.
And then he also made a bed that came out of the wall.
Is that called a Murphy bed?
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
Interesting.
I think so.
I always,
Google it.
I always secretly wanted one, even though it usually meant you're poor. But I always kind of secretly wanted
it's
one
cool.
of those.
Poor.
And-
you don't have enough
and your
space in
mattress
You
is
don't
only
have
like
enough
1
space
inch.
to have
Yeah.
a bed. Yeah, so you got to put it up.
Yeah, I'm
the
pretty sure it's
wall.
called a Murphy bed.
But I always kind of wanted to
Double
at
check
least,
that.
Like, go,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay. Anyway, so
Yeah, Murphy bed.
the first law, and also if we're going through this and you come up with any that you think of,
Okay.
you can tell me at the end.
Yep.
Okay. Number 1.
What?
Like if we think of any Murphy's laws related
Think
to
of any
Oh,
board
okay.
gaming
I'm like, are we
laws.
playing
I'll give you an
something here?
example
Okay.
though, so you understand what I'm talking
All
about.
right.
Like the first one
Okay.
is when playing a new game, at least one rule will be radically misinterpreted.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So this one,
Or an inverse of that, when you're explaining a game, you'll just forget a rule.
Yep. And then in the
Yep.
middle you're like,
Oh.
I forgot. And then of course you have to do
Yep,
it. Right?
you're
You
going to
that
do it.
move.
You're like, oh, yeah, by the way, this is
Yeah.
legal. And they're like,
Yeah.
no, it's not.
No,
you son of a-"
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So like obviously this doesn't always happen, but I feel like it's happened to us enough that it makes the law funny because it's true.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I think of is the Grand Carnival that we played with Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what did we get wrong?
Well, that you could buy
didn't
anything
listen-
up to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
had thought it had to be like that exact.
Right, yeah, that made the
one
game
or
harder.
whatever.
That's
Yeah.
for sure.
But I know that even like with just you and me in the last several months, we've definitely done that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
enough for it, to
happens
be a
all the
thing.
time.
Yeah, it happens. And
Happens
I've even
everywhere.
done where I've played games with you guys and gone home and played it again. I'm like, oops, or I send you a message, or I
Yeah.
send
Yeah.
you a Ryan, did we play it
Yeah,
like
we
this?
do it
And you're
like
like,
this.
yeah, that's what it is. And I'm like, I don't think it is. And then you're like,
Yeah.
like Pulsar,
Oh,
I
you're
think
right.
was one where you're like, oh
Yep.
no,
Yeah.
you don't do that. So
I just remember like
Yeah.
That one
so many-
shocked me too, because normally I'm like, like, I don't know. I remember feling very confident in
you
that
were very
game.
confident in that text. You were like,
Yeah.
you're wrong. I'm like, can you just check? Can you just double check?
I say it just like
I
that.
don't know.
I'm not that mean. But
No,
that's
it was
really funny. But I remember thinking like,
Yeah.
no,
Dummy.
am I wrong? Me?
Well, there's so many times too. I remember like we finished a game and we're like, well, I wonder how it would be if we played it again, but like with the right way.
The right rules. Yeah.
Yep.
Number 2, when teaching your partner a new game, crushing them mercilessly will prevent you from scoring of any kind in the foreseeable future.
Yep. Exactly.
So, for example,
you want to get into my nook? Then you
after
have to.
Jeff played Zolkin with Devin, they had like a rut
Yeah, we.
in the bedroom.
Yeah.
I think.
So I won by so much. It was just
shit.
like,
Yeah.
Yep.
sorry, we're.
And she was just like,
You wanna,
You're
you
not
want-
going to win later,
You-
buddy.
do you want to? Did you win by 50? No. Okay.
Yay.
I can definitely see that being like a thing though.
No, that happens for sure.
between people. I mean, it depends how long the losing partner's bad mood lasts, but like that could be a thing. But for some reason,
Well, it
made
also
me think
depends
of-
on the manner in which the winner is acting.
Yeah.
I feel like we're all
yeah.
pretty good about not. Okay, so real quick, Casey McCaskill is my example. I'm gonna say here. we used to play poker all the time.
Yep.
And there was this instance of poker. It was me and him in a heads up, and he beat me. And he didn't like. He wasn't just like good game.
Right.
He stood up, and he was like, "Woo! Yes, yes, yes! A god, fuck yeah!" And he won like $5. But I'm sitting there like, you son of a bitch. If that happens and you're a
Yeah.
bad winner,
Yeah.
that could, I think, affect the bedroom more than just winning by a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
No, you're right. You're right. Number 3. This one's for Ryan. You will always be looking for more better games, no matter how many great games you already own. I mean, right?
Yes.
That-
yes.
That
You
is
can't-
Ryan.
You cannot
Absolutely
get- Well, it's that saying where you want what you can't have or something like that. It's like, this is the last game I'll ever want. Okay. I have to stop us because I have this awesome post that I made about that exact law. I made a post about it.
Really?
Yes. I'm not going to find it right now, but here's how it goes. It goes like this. It's like there you are. You're sitting there with your collection and you're looking at it and you're like, wow, this is it. I have all the games I need.
My favorite games
this
are
is
here.
Beautiful. Then you see it. That one game that you're like, oh, how didn't I see that before? Oh, I'll get it. And now my collection's complete. Then you see it. That one game. Oh, how did... And I do that like 50 times in a row. It's that thing.
Yeah.
It's like where you're just like, okay, this is all I ever wanted is I got to find Merv. Once I get Merv, I'll be happy. And then Merv comes and I'm like, I want something else.
Yep.
Give me the Praga Caput Regni.
I think it's part of the journey, right? It's getting it. I'm gonna go online. I'm gonna research it. I'm gonna look, and then you get it, and it's like, yes, let me punch it. And it's like, let me put it on my shelf and forget about it.
Yep.
And then what else is new? It's like a collect.
Rollus Polus next.
I think that's part of the. I think being a board gamer goes along with like. I'm collecting, right? You're a collector as well, and that goes along with collecting. And I think people who collect anything always look for the next best thing. So that's like, I'm collecting stamps. Ooh, I don't have that stamp. Well, let me go get that one. Yeah,
like you said, the thrill of the chase. You're
Yes, the
chasing
chase
it
is
down.
fun.
That's super awesome, and it feels like really like alive. And then you get it, and you're like, okay, I need something else to chase.
Yeah.
You know, I got it now. I don't care about what am I
Yeah, so
going to do
that
with
is
it.
true.
Yep.
That is a law.
I'm agreeing with these laws so far.
Yep. This one is when teaching a game to noobs, someone will confuse the newbies by interrupting
Nuns.
to explain tangentially
Tangentially.
Yep.
tangentially related
Tangerine.
rules that do not need to be explained yet.
There's this thing that everybody does, or at some point in their lives, or other people do that you know someone that does this, where if they have a little bit of knowledge of the thing you're teaching, for some reason,
for them to keep
they
their mouth
want
shut.
to share it with you, even
Well,
though you
yeah.
don't need it right now. It's almost like a way to prove to you that I have this knowledge too.
Yep.
So I got to say it.
I feel like I've been guilty of this before. Like I recall interrupting to throw in a rule,
everyone
and you give
does.
me a look like, shut up.
Yeah, like I'll get there.
Let me do this.
I'll get there.
I'll
Yeah.
get there. Where it's like, oh, if you place this here, and then someone's like, oh, but if you do it there, then you lose that. Okay, that's my next sentence.
Right.
So
Let
just
me
hold on.
do
Yeah.
this. Yeah. We're not doing this
Yep.
together. But yeah, there's a psychological thing that people have when they have information and someone else is talking about it. They want to be like, well, I know it too. So I'm going to jump in and
Yeah.
say stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all do it.
Right. Number 5, when referencing a rule in the rule book, it will be impossible to find until you flip through the entire book twice, whereupon you'll discover it was on the first page you checked.
Perfect.
Well,
Yeah.
here's why I think I do this all, for some reason. When you're like you're playing a game and it's like maybe this like heavy game, and then all of a sudden we come out upon a rule. Jeff's taking his turn, and he's like, "Well, wait a minute, can I do this?"
Yes. Can I do this
You're
in
like,
this
I know
order?
I saw that.
Well, no, but more for me, it's like, okay, this is important.
Yes.
Because this is his turn, and maybe strategy hinges upon this question he has.
Yep.
So I go and grab the rule book, and everyone's looking at me, and because we have to stop and
just
wait, and I'm just
panicking.
like, and I'm
Yeah.
not. So my eyes aren't actually looking at the rules at all. I'm just hoping it's gonna,
Yeah, hit
jump
you.
out and go.
Why isn't it bolded?
Yeah, exactly. And so
Right.
you're just like flipping the pages. You're not reading anything. Even in your brain, you're like, I'm not reading anything. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? Oh my God, I'm not gonna.
Yep.
So I think,
Yeah, that happens a lot.
That happens all the time.
Yeah, or to me it's happened where like I like read the rule book and I know I saw it and I can kind of picture it, but for some reason I just
Yeah.
can't find it.
Yeah. Where is it?
They removed this page. I must have ripped this page out.
So
threw it
what
away.
I do a lot of times now is I won't even go to the rule book. I'll Google it and hit and you Google the question you have, and then you hit space BGG and you hit enter, and then it will usually bring up a BGG thread of the question in
Cool.
Yeah.
in
Most of the
in
time,
question.
yep.
A lot of the times, yeah.
Number 6 is the interest in debating the interpretation of a specific rule is directly proportional to that rule's potential negative impact upon your play.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of
absolutely.
course.
Yep.
You have to argue for the fact that if I do it this way,
Yeah.
no, it means that I could go
Yeah.
one extra space.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff where it's like you look for that word you may in the
Yeah.
rule book. It's do I have to? Well, it says you may. Okay, well I may.
well, then
I don't have
can.
to.
I don't have to, but
Yeah,
I could.
where it says players take this many resources. Well, it doesn't
You
say you
got-
may. You
yep,
have to take
you
that.
gotta take
That's
those.
always like that's kind of what we always
Yep.
debate back and
That
forth.
happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then again, like if it doesn't affect you at all, you're like, oh, whatever. I
Who
don't
cares?
really care.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, or I usually just give the benefit
You
to the
don't
person,
really
but I'm like,
have
shit,
a-
I needed to go there. So
Yeah.
no, let's read it my way.
So, bitch. Yep.
Yeah. Number 7 is after unpacking your new board game with its thousands of cardboard tokens, plastic discs, tiny miniatures, stacks of cards, and plethora of dice, it will never fit back in the box it came in.
Yeah.
That's a
How
bad
often
insert.
does this-
That's one of my.
Does this happen? Like, seriously.
It happens all the time. I mean, it happens all the time.
It reminds me of the kids. Just this happened last week. Trying to put the cereal bag back in the cereal box.
Okay, that was my next. That was what I was going to say. Is this is not just a board game problem. This is anything that comes in a box.
Yeah.
Yes.
That you're trying to
Packaging.
get. Yeah, cereal's a big
I
thing.
feel like Cameron, like there's so many times where like he gets himself cereal in the morning and then the bag is in the pantry, but the box is on the counter. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, he's probably like, well, this is impossible, so it must not be able to fit. So I'm just going to
Yeah, if you take the cereal bag out of the box, you're done for.
This is why people go to school to be packaging engineers.
Yeah, so they can
packaging
get this
engineers
stuff back
save
in.
companies millions of dollars every year on how to package and what to like. Oh, we can save a quarter of an inch over here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And less packaging. And this is going to save
If
us
only I had a
$100,000.
quarter of an inch, right, guys?
I had like a rule that I thought of after reading, or a law that I thought of after reading this law, and this seems to happen to you a lot
The box
too.
law or the next law?
The box law.
Wait, the
It
Bob
The
law?
James law.
The Bob law's law?
Yeah, the law. Yeah.
Okay.
It reminded me of a potential new law where a game will either come with way more baggies than you need, or not quite
Or
enough
none.
baggies
Yeah,
to
perfect.
fit everything.
Yep.
Why? Why does that I was
Right?
just look. I think it was Praga. I was putting it away, and there's a thousand of them.
Right.
And I was
You're
like,
like, why
well,
do you need all
guess
these?
if I separate each component into its own baggie, I could have enough.
Yeah.
And so I did. And I'm like, there's
So I
still
guess
some
that then
left
leads
over.
to the other law. Like, if you play board games and have a collection, you have a bag full of bags.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly. I have so many
Yeah.
baggies.
And I would rather have
think I'm a drug
more
dealer.
than less, because I
Oh, absolutely.
I punched Cerebria last
Yeah.
night, and they gave me, there was about 4 bags in there, which I could probably again fit everything into 4 bags. But one bag was like the size of the box. And I'm like, what am I putting
What
in
goes
there?
in here?
Yeah.
It was weird.
Those
Yeah.
those center tile things? Like, those go in there? That's weird.
Here, this is the last.
Game board in the box. Sorry.
Bag.
Number 8, at every session, there will always be one player who prefers Euro games. This player will agree to play non-Euro games, but will be so obviously unhappy about it that nobody else enjoys the game. I'd say that's a bit extreme to say that they're so unhappy that no one else enjoys it. But like, I know I've experienced something similar, like when you and I play something that I hate and I'm clearly not having a good time, you don't really enjoy yourself as much. And it kind of reminds me
Yeah.
a little bit too of Dave Donkey Kong Madigan, where it's kind of the opposite. He likes Ameritrash games more, doesn't
Yep.
he? And it reminded me when we played Underwater Cities.
Yeah, he was
with him,
not
he
really
didn't
loving
ruin
it.
our game at all, so it's not
No.
like that. But
he doesn't do that.
But we were.
You could tell he didn't enjoy
Yeah,
it.
you could tell he was like, "This is really my."
Yeah, he would like.
I would
yeah,
say
like,
that-
"Oh, my turn
he felt
again.
Bad.
Okay.
Like poor Dave.
Yeah.
Now he's had to sit through this like 2-3 hour.
I would say
game.
that's almost the same as reverse. I guess it depends on your experiences. That sometimes Ameritrash gamers don't want to put a worker down and get resources.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Or
I would
push a
rather do
cube
that
around
all
the
day
board.
long. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Right.
yeah. So,
and then
it's
there's
true.
one that I made up.
The James Law.
James Law, 90%.
90%.
It is
10%
the
of crap.
James Law because
Oh, it's a good
I
knockout.
didn't actually make this up. Ryan says it a lot.
Uh-oh.
Really nourishing mother.
It is. You will
Alma mater.
always have a bias to like a game more if you own it.
Yeah, the only
absolutely.
game
That's a
bias.
great one.
Absolutely. There's another one I would add then that's a strict relation to that, which is the winner's bias.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's the owner's
Yep.
bias, which is definitely a thing, and it's kind of a weird. I mean, I guess even if you get a game for a gift that you didn't want, I still think that law applies. It's my game. I like it.
I want to
like
explain it. I
more.
want you to have fun because
Yeah.
I'm putting my investment in us
Yeah.
playing
Yeah,
this game that I
it's
picked,
mine.
that I have.
I picked it for us. We should all like it.
Yeah.
And then the winner's bias. And I think the winner's bias people are more self-aware about than maybe the ownership bias.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you win a game and you're like, oh my gosh, I love that game. There's we'll talk about. I mean, a lot of people do this, right? But most notably, Frankie and Kyle. Kyle talks about Frankie all the time, where he'll say, if you want her to enjoy herself, she needs to win.
Yeah, she only likes games.
She only likes games that she wins.
Yeah.
You know, and she'll of course say, no, I don't. But you know, but so I think people are more self-aware of that,
Yeah.
of that bias.
And I think the more you play games, the more you might get out of that. Like, because you're
Right.
not going to win everything. You're not going to lose everything. So, it'll go in waves. So,
Yeah.
And I think our halfway, how do you feel has helped me
That
with that a
helps
lot.
out a
Because
lot.
I do that even when I don't say it out loud.
Well, because it's an emotional thing. It's
Yeah.
not something that happens in your brain, right? It happens in your body. You know, you lose a game and you feel bad. You don't
Like a loser.
think bad. Yeah. Or you win a game and you get a natural high. And so it's easy to correlate the way you think you feel about a game based on how you're feeling in that exact moment.
Yeah.
And so that's why Jeff and I did that halfway. How do you feel? Because it takes that out of it.
Right.
It takes that excitement that you're or that upsetness you're feeling when you either win or lose out of the game and just says, what does your brain tell you?
Yeah.
or
Are you
even
having fun?
how does your body feel
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah.
You know, what's going on in your nook?
Let me tell you, Natalie's Nook was delightful. Today.
I loved Natalie's nook. That's
It
why I
was
married her.
Delightful,
I
yeah.
married her because of it.
Good for you.
I hope you liked it.
You married us because
I
of that.
married Ryan and Natalie's Nook, so this moment could happen.
Okay, this is the segment name. I'm sorry, it's gonna be Natalie.
It's just
Good job, sweetheart.
Good
I
one.
loved that segment. It spurned some real good discussion. Is
Nookery.
spurned the right word? I don't know. Normally at this point of each episode, I play a game with Jeff and Natalie. One of the games I came up with was entitled Board Game or Bullshit, that I think I first unveiled on the Date Night Dice crossover show. Well, I ended up finding out that Natalie wanted to throw the game in a box, throw the box in a bag, throw the bag in a river, and throw the river into space. She hated it so much.
throw the river into space.
That's a Futurama joke. Well, she vowed to get revenge on me by doing a board game or bullshit segment of her own. With the help of some fat guy eating burritos, it has come true.
Cool. All right.
Natalie, what do you got for us?
Okay. I just gotta preface this by saying that a fat guy eating burritos basically did this entire thing for me.
Dan did everything. Okay.
He told me he's like, don't you dare say that, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's what he did.
I can't take credit for
That's what he do.
So is it going to work the same? Like, does Ryan get one?
same.
Or all right,
And
Then there's more.
we get two.
the
okay.
only thing is I don't have to play it.
So that's
You
the
guys
best
still
part.
get to enjoy
I'm
it.
excited. I'm excited. I don't even care if I get them all wrong.
Let me
because,
tell you right now, Natalie is killing it this episode.
Yeah, I know.
This is like-
she got the roly poly.
She's killing
Her
it.
Nook was amazing. You said
Man.
something else earlier when she told me to shut the fuck up. That was really funny.
Yeah, if you just shut up for a second. No, Natalie's rolling this episode. Episode 58.
Natalie is unhinged.
It's 2021 Natalie. Here
All right.
it comes.
No, I'll keep score.
Here's what I like about this game the most. It's not that. So I know what you hate about this game is that you just have no idea.
Yeah.
To me, that's the fun. It's like, what do I think it is? And then I can't wait. Now I get to hear.
Yeah.
I get to hear what
You
it
get to hear the
actually
bullshit.
is. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, sounds fun.
All right. It sounds fun. She's on it. I'm telling
I
you.
think it's fun.
All right.
All right. I'll keep score.
I'm excited.
I got it.
Okay.
This
Cool.
first one is for Jeff.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. All right. It's called
Okay.
Empires of Zidal.
How do you spell Zidel?
Spell Zidal.
Zidal.
DAL.
Be the best in the land by having your market, military, and more perform better than all the other players in this deck builder. Master 5 different factions as you claim gems and gold to gain more cards. Don't forget to grab lots of children to turn into laborers and soldiers, otherwise you'll fall behind in the race for more signets.
Signut?
Signet.
What's a signut?
A signet.
Oh.
It's got. Oh, that's real.
Is it like royalty?
That's a real
Is that
game.
like royal? Is that like royalty?
Yeah, like
Like
a
a
signet
gem.
is like a signet is kind of like any kind of like. Yeah, it's like metal or like a gold can be a signet. I'm gonna look it up. Signet.
And what's this game called? Masters of what?
Empires of Zidal.
Empires of Zidal.
Oh,
So-
a signet is a small seal, especially one set in a
seal.
ring, used instead.
Like that kind of seal?
A tiny seal.
A loose
in the
seal. A loose
ocean.
Okay, so Empires
He's
of
He's going to be all right.
Zidal.
Oh, good.
He's lost his left
He
hand.
lost his left hand. Why would you say left hand?
I was messed with it. Okay, so there's two things about this that weird me out. One are the children. You have to acquire
Yeah.
children to be workers.
That sounds
which
like
makes me think like
you
would
wouldn't
that
make
be
that up, right?
real?
Yeah, I feel like you would.
Or yeah, you would make that up. Or and that last part about I don't know,
signet?
getting
The
getting
RR?
some- getting some-
The seal.
I'm gonna say that this is a board game.
That's what I would say.
You mean real?
Yeah, I would
Real.
say that.
You are correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
what's
either a
game's
board
called?
game
Board
or
game
it's
or
bullshit.
Oh, I
So-
got it.
You're
Natalie likes the game.
Natalie.
She likes the game. She gets it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
you are
so it is a
correct.
board game. Okay.
It is real.
Absolutely. I
All
would
right.
have said the same thing.
Okay.
Dan is really funny, and
Yes, he is.
he
a good
put
guy.
little notes next to the answers, and he wrote, "Real. It's a deck builder and actually has a player-driven market. It's wild."
Wild game.
Some wild stuff. Okay, what do I got?
All right, Ryan.
Yep.
Catacombs of Carrick.
How do you spell it?
Carrot.
K-A-R-E-K.
Carrot.
K-A-R-A-K.
That's funny. We talked
K-A-R-A-K.
about catacombs.
I'm just gonna
You don't want me to
I'm
explain?
gonna go
He's
on Board
Googling
Game
it.
Geek
No,
just for
No.
unrelated
Close
reasons.
that computer.
I can't.
it.
It'll shut off.
Yeah.
It'll shut off our recording.
Don't look.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I'll
not.
double check.
I'm working.
You better
not,
not
he's
be cheating.
I would.
Wow.
I would not cheat in
In
this.
Catacombs of Carrick, players lay tiles to explore a labyrinth to find gear, fight monsters, and more.
Wait, Gearma fight?
Gearma fight.
Find gear.
Is that like a special kind of like
And more.
ore you find on the ground?
Be careful to outsmart the other players and get the best loot. The player with the most treasure at the end is the winner.
Be careful to outperform the other.
So you're
player?
placing
Outsmart
tiles. It seems like
the other
a game
players.
like, what's that? Who knows?
This
Never
sounds
mind.
like a game But it almost sounds too much like a game.
So there's tiles, and you're laying them to go through a catacombs to get gears and fighting.
What is
Gears
the
and
name of the
Gears
game
and-
again?
Catacombs of Carrick.
Carrick.
Karak.
And Karak is something that is a noun, right?
I
Is
will
that what we're
say,
saying?
yeah.
That's
my
the
guess.
name of the catacomb?
That's the catacomb's name. I'm gonna say it's bullshit.
I think I would have went bullshit as well.
It's real.
Oh, Aurelio!
It's funny
Carrot.
about your comment because
Yeah.
Dan says, I figure it sounds so generic they might think it's fake.
That's what I thought.
You did,
That's
so
what I
it's
thought.
fair.
That's exactly what I thought. Yeah.
All right. Number 3.
Catacombs
Or
Cubes,
Jeff, I mean.
real.
Number 2 for Jeff. Yeah, I know. He said catacombs. I'm like, I should know all these.
All right.
back
This
them
one's
all.
called Mustachio.
Whoa.
A game about trick taking, world domination, and mustaches.
What if
Make
they're
sure
all
you
real?
bid on the right nuts with your partner, but no talking to your teammate. What a crazy twist. Play the pistachio at the right time to win your tricks.
Pistachio.
No way. No way. That's
Okay, it's
not
called.
real.
Say it again. What's the name?
Mustachio.
So it's like a mustache and a
Pistachio together. That's
And it's a trick-taking game where you can't talk to someone else.
that's pretty. If that's
I don't know.
real,
I might.
You gonna say real?
I'm trying to picture what would the cover be? It would be a pistachio with a mustache, right?
Yeah. Or
Or a mustache
made of pistachio.
Pistachio mustache. Or just a mustache with one tiny pistachio.
Yeah, one
stuck
little
in it.
pistachio stuck in the mustache.
I'm gonna say that is a board game.
Okay, I think
You're right.
Wow,
Oh,
look at him go! I
man.
think gun to my pistachio to my head. I would have said bullshit.
And then we're eating that pistachio.
Yeah.
and
Are these all board games?
Yeah, I wonder if he just like
The
ugh.
first 3 are board games.
All right, Ryan.
Yeah.
This one's called Redneck Life.
Okay.
No way.
Be a mullet salon stylist or a monster truck rally announcer in this game of living the redneck life. Don't get into too many scraps and brawls, because getting your teeth knocked out will bring you to the bottom of the trailer park, because at the end, player with the most teeth
be.
wins.
Most teeth? No way. There's no way.
Redneck. What is it? Redneck life.
Yep.
Redneck life.
Who would? Okay.
So you can either be a mullet stylist, or this just like different roles you could.
You got to
be.
think.
So you could be a
who's
mullet
creating
stylist.
This? What's the company
Kid Rock.
that's thinking
I
of
don't-
this game? I feel like it
I
would be
have all.
offensive.
I
to
have
Kid Rock.
all of the company names.
All right, here's what I'm doing.
Oh, you have
I'm
company
going to.
names.
I'm going
even
to.
even in the fake one.
Oh, who's the company?
Gut busting games.
That's a game company, isn't it?
I don't know.
We can't Google it.
Gut busting games.
It sounds like they would make a game called Redneck,
Sure.
but that's also the point. Dan's so
How do
tricky.
you not like this game? This is like the most. I
Dan's so
love this.
tricky.
Read the description one more time.
Be a mullet salon stylist or a monster truck rally
Mullet
announcer.
salon. Stop. That's bullshit.
I would say- I think I would say bull- I think I would say bullshit.
That's bullshit.
It's real.
Wow! They're all board games.
He goes,
Oh,
real. Good God, it's real.
Good God, this is great. Good
God, Lemon.
Good God, Lemon.
They're all board games. One of them is
not.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Just one is bullshit.
Jeff.
All right.
Oh, I'm getting killed here. It's 2-0.
Castles of Tormir.
It's fake.
Spell Tormir.
Tormir from
Oh,
Z-Man
maybe I had
Games.
Oh, from Z-Man.
Players have 8 rounds to gather resources, hire soldiers, and build defenses against the evil orc army, who once again comes for Tormir's treasure. Roll dice to see if stone, soldiers, or magic is available in the market, and
odds.
stop the most orcs at the end of the game to become the new king of the castle.
Play the odds.
King of the castle,
Play
king of the
odds.
castle.
That's- King of the castle. King of the castle. Wow, wow, wee, wow. Play the odds. That's bullshit.
So, Castles of
Tormir.
Tormir. You're fighting against orcs who are trying to take your treasure.
It sounds like every other game ever
Sounds
made.
too, and if it is real, no wonder no one knows about it.
That's bullshit, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with bullshit. Castles of Tormir is a bullshit game.
That's correct.
Yep.
Ooh, bullshit
Yep.
Tormir.
Yep. Shit, it's 3-0.
You got it. You got
Okay,
it.
Ryan.
Let's come
Oh,
back.
yeah.
You each get 7.
Okay, you can come back.
Got to get the next
Come
4.
back.
No,
Okay.
you got it.
Hako
Hako.
Ona.
Hako Ona.
Hako Ona. I might have heard of this.
Play as the spirit girl with the broken bones in Hako Ona. In this tile
Oh, my
laying
bones.
game, you play hide and seek with a deadly twist. 3 to 5 players will explore the expanding house by playing tiles to explore as the visitors are trying to search for an escape. But be careful. If you stumble across the Haka Ono, you're dead.
If you
I've
break-
heard of
if you-
Haka Ona.
If you break your bones.
The thing is, I know Haka Ona, I think, is a thing.
Because the spirit girl with some broken bones.
But
She in
I don't
your
know
anime?
if it's a game I've heard. Yeah. Honestly, I think it is
Yeah.
in anime.
It sounds like that's a Japanese name, right?
Yeah, but see, he could know that and have so this is like, oh, yeah. Okay, read the description one more time.
Play
Wait,
as
who makes it?
WizKids.
Freaking Wiz. That's a real company.
The Wiz.
Z-Man was too, and that was a fake, so just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're just, go ahead. Read the description, please.
Play as the spirit girl with the broken bones in Haka
My
Ona.
bones.
In this tile laying game, you play hide and seek with a deadly twist. 3 to 5 players will explore the expanding house by playing tiles to explore as the visitors are trying to search for an escape. But be careful. If you stumble across the Haka Ona, you're dead.
Still break your bones.
I'm gonna say it's bullshit.
It's a game.
It's real.
I've seen this game before.
you knew
I know.
about it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn, I heard of it too.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm doing terribly.
I for some reason it seemed like it had a cool theme for some. It's like I want to say it's not a party
I've
game,
heard
but
of
it's a
the
group.
Haka-Ona before.
Yeah, it's like a social deduction, right? I think it's a social deduction game that someone is that person, I think, and they can move stuff around. Yeah, I've heard of the game, but so I'm glad you gave it to Ryan and not me.
yeah, me too.
Because then it's
You weren't just like, oh, I know this
yeah.
one.
The cover isn't the cover cool? It's a creepy.
That's a creepy cover. Yeah, it's like
It is.
little. Yeah, it's like this little Haka-Ona girl.
Ooh, she has broken bones.
Ow, my bones. Their bones.
I
are
don't think
broken.
it's. I don't think it's. Oh, it does say deduction, but it's like dexterity too.
All right, Jeff.
Yeah.
This one's called Smash or Trash. In this hilarious game for 3 to 8 players, you will get a song card and subject card. Write out your lyrics, sing your brand new Smash hit title that combines them, and impress the judges who are the remaining players. Did you get the rodent card with the Commodores as your song card? Kill with hits like It's a Dead Mouse. The most popular singer wins at the end.
No fucking way.
Oh my god.
No.
You had a music one on Board Gamer Bullshit before. I don't remember what it was. Like mix up something.
It's bullshit though.
Oh, what's the title again?
Smash or Trash.
Okay, who makes it?
Fun Q Games.
Okay, and is it real? Fun.
Tell me.
Fun
way.
Q. Fun
No
Q.
way.
Smash and Trash.
Smash or Trash.
And you said they have the Commodores. Wouldn't they have to get a bunch of licenses to have those names
Yeah.
to be able to do that?
Well, if they change the words like that and just use it's like weird.
The band title wouldn't be something.
The
they
band
need to
title
get?
would, I suppose.
Would they need to get?
Well, no, you make it up.
But I'm saying if you,
You
would
get,
a
like,
card say the Commodores?
And then you get like a rat, and then you have to like make up.
I mean, you could probably
song.
say the Commodore's name, right?
Well, I'm gonna say
Sounds like bullshit.
I'm gonna say that is a board game.
You are right.
Oh,
This is getting really frustrating. I'm not gonna lie.
this game
is
going
why
in the
I
river
hate
and
the
going into
game.
space.
That's not why you hate the game.
Yeah, because I just can't figure it out.
Just guessing.
Yeah, it's just
I'm just guessing, right?
It's just a 50-50
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah. He says this may be the ultimate Ryan game in the future.
What, that?
Smash or Trash.
The Smash or Trash
You're like
one?
making up
Oh yeah,
words.
that's like
Okay.
you're talented with that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
I can
All right,
smash
Ryan.
Trash. All right, I gotta get one.
You got it.
I gotta
Trash
get on the board.
Bazaar.
It's bullshit.
Bazaar.
It's bullshit.
You don't want me to read the
Read it.
description?
I gotta play the odds at some point. It's bullshit.
Time to pinch
The
your
first
pennies and
fucking
get the
4.
best items at the Trash Bazaar. In this real-time auction-style game for 3 to 6 players, each player will set up a table using 4 of the 10 cards they were dealt to make their selling table. Players will have 60 seconds to buy items from other players, collecting garage sale items like barely used bowling ball and karate trophy.
Barely used bowling ball.
Yeah.
Barely
Each
used
player
ball.
only gets $10 each round,
good-
so make your
that's good
bidding
alliteration.
count.
Yeah.
Are you going to listen?
No, it's bullshit.
At the end of the 4 rounds, the player who collects the most items that match their hidden character's favorites, like sports items, kitchen appliances, and more, wins.
He wrote a lot.
Trash Bazaar.
He wrote
Trash
a lot.
Bazaar.
But
All right.
no, it's fake.
I would say fake as well.
You're right.
Fucking finally. Oh, God damn it. I'm on the board.
All right, Jeff. Song.
Wait, what were his notes to that one?
He said fake, but I really want to play it now.
That is something when I like make up the descriptions, I'm kind of like, this sounds kind of.
Yeah. I'll play it.
Songs of the Gwisin. Gwisin.
Gwisin. Okay, glisten.
In Songs of the Gwisin, players must release the Gwisin, a Korean,
Release the Gwisin!
a Korean
Keep your Gwisin to
spirit
yourself.
from its torment. The player who is the Gwisin can sing, hum, and wail as the players attempt to figure out what their uncompleted task is. Each round, a player places a vision card to see if the spirit's task is shown on the card.
That
If
sounds
the
fun.
player can figure out how to help the spirit after 5 rounds, the spirit is free. But if not, they are cast to the underworld forever.
So, for how that kind of sounds entertaining,
Yeah, it
like a
does.
good party game, but what a stupid name.
Yeah.
What is it of Gwisin? The what of Gwisin?
Songs of the Gwisin.
Songs of the Gwisin.
Well, the name Gwisin is what sucks.
Yeah.
Songs
I'm sure
of
it's
the
something.
Pretty
Apparently
cool.
it's a Korean.
I'm sure it is
Songs of the
something
cool.
that
yeah, that's a
is
dumb
important,
name.
but that's tough. Songs of the Gwisten. You can hum, sing, and hoo-ha your way to
It's our second singing.
freeing something. I'm going to say Songs of the Gwisten is bullshit.
Yeah, I would say that too.
Yep.
Good lord, Jeff is 100% right
I
now.
know, has he
Rolling.
gotten everyone?
Yeah, he has.
Rolling.
And I cannot catch up now.
You got
Ryan.
it. You made a good showing.
The Trial of Socrates. In this two-player only game, the people of Athens must decide the fate of the famous philosopher. Socrates is accused of corrupting the youth, and both the defenders and the accusers have 10 days to convince the jury if he should be free or imprisoned. Can you save one of the coolest people ever to be in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
What? That last part throws it off. Or this doesn't it?
What? You had me 100% as like this
It
could
sounds
be a thing
cool.
until the very last
The
sentence.
Bill and Ted thing's weird.
But
He is in. Socrates is in it. In that movie.
But why would they put that
yeah,
in
why
the
would
game
that be in the description of the game when nothing else of the game?
I know.
Who makes this game?
The game sounds cool.
Dr. Finn Games.
Dr. Finn.
Okay, that's an actual.
Dr. Finn. Dr. Finn.
That's a thing, but no, baloney.
I would say baloney as well based on the last sentence.
Yeah, baloney.
It's real.
Ooh. Man. It does sound cool. I might look.
Why would
look into that one.
why would they even
know.
put that last sentence in
That
there?
doesn't necessarily come from them.
Oh, I thought it came
What?
from the BGG
It
thing.
has to be. That's the game.
Well, we just made it.
No, I mean that last line might have just been like added in there and throw you.
Oh, that's not part of the rules. Fat guy eating burritos. That's not how this game works.
I'm giving
That's
you the
my
point.
guess.
I'm gonna look it up.
I'm giving you
That's
the
my
point.
guess.
I'm gonna look it up.
No,
Yeah.
don't look up anything.
No, I'm looking up. What's it called? Trial of Socrates?
Yeah.
Socrates?
Socrates.
I don't think it actually. I don't.
Well, then that's bullshit right there. No, it doesn't say anything about Bill and Ted. Yeah, see, that's not cool.
Oh, sorry.
I'm giving him a
That's
point.
not how it works.
You get the point.
No, I don't want a sympathy
No
point.
point.
Alright.
No sympathy
awarded.
point for
No, it's
me.
not a sympathy point.
It
It is a
is.
fair point given. If you were up 5-0, I would still give you the point.
We have 4 left.
Okay, proceed.
Okay, Jeff.
That's me.
Vision Quest. The follow-up to Doorways to Adventure. It's time to fire up your VCR once more as you defeat the evil sorcerer who is trying to collect the gems of Adrak.
Adrak.
There's all these weird names.
Players will
Yeah.
bid action cards to claim the reward after the video segment, but beware, you never know when Grandor will pop up and steal all the players' gems.
Grandor?
Nah. That's bullshit. I don't think there's a game mechanism to go along with a videotape. That is not like
Bullshita.
trivia.
Is that what you think?
Bullshita.
Yep.
Bullshita.
This is like,
Because the
you have...
The
you're
VCR
a
things-
fucking... You're like, what the fuck?
He's like,
no wonder why Natalie doesn't like playing
riddles.
this game. See,
Is this how it always goes?
Might
Do you
as well
get
be-
0 and Jeff gets all of them?
For
You have
both
2.
games are bullshit. Yeah.
No, I only have 1.
No,
I
you
only
have
have
2.
1. That 2 is not...
no, that last
is not
sentence. Because
real.
I would have done the same thing. I would have said yes, 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 and then as soon as you
Yeah, I was like, the game...
Thinking it was
because in my brain I'm
Yeah.
Well,
picturing.
yeah, because
that.
that's what you're doing.
You're
The
taking the
game here. If
description.
I can just be angry at the nicest person in the world to us, you're taking the board game geek description, or you're writing your own.
Okay, good to know. Anyways, Ryan, Super PACs, PACS.
Okay.
The game about the game of politics. It's time to make
The game about the game of politics.
Yes.
Okay.
It's time to make Humerica great again as you assemble factions to help you get wealth, votes, and power. Play your cards right in this game to win elections, fundraise like nobody else, abscond with money, and claim investments. Get the megabucks and spread your influence because, like real politics, the player with the most power wins.
God, it sounds so bad.
Ooh, I know.
It sounds bad that it could be real.
I think no. I'm going to say baloney. It's a real game?
Yeah.
It sounds so bad. And the poker chips go flying. Oh, jeez.
Did I break the wall?
Yeah.
Or the ceiling?
It's stuck up there.
This is
Oh,
not
sorry.
fun at all. Oh.
See, maybe after this, board gamer bullshit could just be gone forever.
It was gone
What if
forever. You
What
made
if it
it
just
gone
Yeah, but you
forever.
were. But you
What if we do it
made a
together
big
as like
deal.
a this is what
You made a
our
big deal
answer
about
is.
like, oh, I can't believe you didn't like this game.
Well, I understand now. How about that?
Thank you. That's the whole point of this. Jeff,
Okay, this is the
why
point of
we're-
it.
that's
She
why
keeps
we're doing
switching
it.
She, whatever you say, she
whatever
says,
I
no,
say.
it's not.
What's that? Oh my God! There was a show. What show were we just watching? Where there's a game show. Well, I think it's 30 Rock, and there's a game show on it called like not palindromes. What's the thing where a word is spelled?
Oh, yes.
the same
Oh,
way.
yeah.
And he's like, okay, it's this, and he's like, it means that. And he's like, no, sorry,
No,
it's the other one.
Yeah,
what was that?
It was on 30 Rock.
yeah, it was. It was definitely on 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, sorry, it's the other one. God,
It's only the other one.
Jeff's last one.
Okay.
War of Renaissance. In this game, 2 to 6 players will play over 300 minutes of turbulent battles to claim the title of the Grand Luminary. Unique events make sure that no 2 games will ever play the same. Using your unique leader, gain prestige and influence with guilds across the city to lead the people into a new age of enlightenment. Ignore the needs of your workers too long, and they may stray to other factions, so be careful not to expand too quickly. Dominate the most eras, 5 in total, to be the Grand Luminary.
300 minutes?
There are some games that take that
What's
long.
it called? War of Renaissance. Probably
Yep.
a GMT. Who makes it?
Game Systems, Inc.
Game Systems. Are you even real? Probably. War of Renaissance. Over 300 minutes. That would be a war game.
Yep, sure would.
I'm going to say that is a board game.
It's fake!
Oh, I got one.
Oh, poor
Oh,
Jeff.
poor me. Oh, man. 300 minutes.
Oh my
Good.
god.
Lost
He
food.
missed one. I've gotten one.
Yeah.
2.
Well, maybe
Nope.
you'll get this one.
Yeah, maybe
Ryan,
we get this
your
one.
last one.
All right.
This is worth 8 points.
I honestly think only one of mine has been bullshit. I think so.
I don't know. But this,
I think I've said,
this is worth 8 points.
I think I've said bullshit for every. It's a Rock and Jack rule.
Yeah.
I think I've said bullshit for like half of these, and only one has been bullshit.
All right, let me do the last one.
Okay, I was right, wasn't
I don't know. I have to go back and look. Flippy Slippers
I? Wait, Flippy Slippers?
Flippy
Yep.
slippers.
Okay.
by Hasbro.
By
In this,
Hasbro.
in this fun for the whole family game, players have to get slippers onto Mr. Sleepily Grumple by hitting their launcher and trying to get the slippers on his feet. Hit the launcher too hard and he might wake up. First player who gets both slippers on the feet wins.
That
sounds- it
sounds
sounds like a-
really cool. But
It sounds like a Don't Wake Daddy, right? Isn't that, or the Don't Wake Dad or something? What's that
yeah.
game?
Oh, yeah.
Getting slippers onto a feet just seems like a futile
It's a good
enterprise.
attempt at a, I think it's a bullshit.
I'm gonna
I would
say
go
bullshit.
Ding, ding, ding.
Hey, 8 points. You got it. You
I
won.
threw that.
Ding, ding.
That was
You
worth
got
8
it.
points.
Through the cupcake. Where'd they go?
The cupcake wrapper?
Well, the silicone.
The silicone
Oh,
cupcake.
yeah.
Right, they're things, but
Good job, babe.
shut up.
That's the
Shut the fuck
the
up.
end of Board Gamer Bullshit. Because
You'll never hear it again.
when Jeff wins games, we shut them down. No more riddles.
Okay, all
No
right.
more Board Gamer bullshit.
If you had
I'm
won
just
that
kidding.
like 6-3 even or 6-4.
What's 6-3?
No, I didn't get that. I didn't get the Bill and Ted one, even though that was
That one was worth 8
that
points. So
sucked.
that's-
For fuck's sake. All right.
All right.
So before we get to the top 5 of the episode, I wanted to go over some stats from 2020 for us all.
Stats.
I did this last year and it was kind of fun.
It was very
so
fun.
I thought I'd do it again this year. Let's start with Natalangus.
I purposely didn't look at anything for mine, just so I
Okay,
knew.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. So Natalie,
yes.
if we look at you, my dear, have played 252 plays of 120 different games this year.
Wow.
Wow.
You actually, all 3 of us. Well, I'll get to that in a minute.
I feel like I hope
I'm gonna go to me.
I might not have logged everything.
She didn't.
Yeah.
Which is pretty frustrating.
Natalie.
All right.
Sorry.
If I had more poker chips, I'd be throwing them.
Okay.
All right. Ryan. Yes.
Ryan?
What did you have? I don't know. Read it to me. I had 316 plays of 142 different games.
Yeah, there's no way you played that
Wow.
much more than me.
Yes, there is.
Not together.
Yes, there is.
Oh, you count the ones you play online, though, don't you?
No.
Yes, you do.
No.
You don't log when you play on TTS?
Nope.
I thought you did.
No.
Nope. Say no
Don't,
again.
though.
Do
No.
you?
You do.
I thought you
'cause
did.
I
Are you
looked
sure
on
you don't?
your- I looked on your
No.
Board Game Geek.
Wow.
It doesn't say TTS.
She looked
on
at your board game geek, didn't join our guild, and doesn't log plays, but goes on your
there.
page
What does that
and
even
double
mean?
checks your one.
I
Well, because there was like
Your
a,
Board
there was
Game
like a
Geek.
few
But this night,
months where
Ryan
like
hasn't
I didn't
logged it.
log anything, so I went back and looked at yours so I could log them
A few months.
and catch up. And I swear you logged some TTS games.
I don't think so.
Yes, you did.
Okay, argument over.
All right, Jeff, you have had 313 plays of 151 different games. Now, here is the
Different
cool
games.
thing here.
Okay.
Well, Natalie,
Ooh, Ryan, you got me with
Did I
316,
ruin it?
313.
I know.
I should have
We
played
were
a couple
so
games.
close. Yeah,
I should have played a couple games.
You had 151, I had 142. Yeah, it's so close. We were like right neck and neck.
Man.
And Natalie was way
Me
down
too.
because she
doesn't
forgot
log
to
your
log
play, so-
crap, apparently.
Guild 3678.
Number 1, the game that we all 3 of us played the most is the same, and it is
The screw.
The Screw.
Yeah.
Yes. Natalie and I have both logged 58 plays of The Screw.
Wow.
I don't
Jeff
have that
has
many,
37 plays. Well,
Yeah.
we owned it early.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you guys played it. You obviously played
Yep.
it more.
Yeah.
And the second highest would be the same for all of us, but I don't think Natalie even logged 1 play of it this year. And can you think of what it is, Jeff?
Um,
You have 20 recorded plays. I have 19.
Do you log Strike, Natalie? Is it Strike?
It is Strike.
Okay.
Natalie, I don't even think she logged it once.
So if Natalie has 20 more of that, that would... Yeah.
Not even one time. And it's our second highest game of the year. Natalie and...
I'll do better. I should make that one of my resolutions.
Yeah, there you go.
So then Jeff, your third, fourth, and fifth game of the years are all tied with 7 plays.
Ooh, 7.
Can you think of any of them?
7 plays of something. What have I played?
Yeah, you have 3 games you played 7 times.
Ooh.
Oh, geez. Let me think. We didn't go to a Gen Con.
Right.
What did I play 7 times? That's a good number. 7. Code 777. Because they all have 7 letters.
Yep.
In the 7. Give Natalie the same question and let her think while I think of mine.
Natalie, your number 2, which is really number 3, is the same as my number 3, which is actually number 3 because we played it the same amount of times. We played it 10 times. What do you think that game is that we played 10 times this year
10
together?
times.
10 recorded plays. Like Strike.
Yeah, right.
You could play it one sitting, but play it 5 times, right?
Yeah.
But not 6. You can't play it 6 times.
No.
You can play it 5.
Codenames Duet.
Correct.
Good
Codenames
one.
Duet.
Yeah.
Jeff, can you think of any of the 3
no,
that
I
you
don't know
played
if I can,
7 times?
Like, I know Castles of Burgundy probably I didn't play 7 times.
Correct,
It's probably
you
more
didn't.
like 5.
3.
3, that's what I said.
That's what I said.
7 times. Is it like, are they quick? Are they quick games?
No, not really.
Okay, good for me then.
Yeah, good for you. Well,
Good for me then.
define quick.
I-
Not like
Did
Strike.
I play Wingspan this year 7 times? No, probably not.
No,
Okay, no.
Wingspan.
No, Strike would be quick. I would say the Crew would also be something that would be quick plays. I don't know.
Wingspan. You have to. Okay,
Go ahead and tell me.
You have Charterstone,
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Paranormal Detectives,
Awesome game.
and Pictures,
Also awesome game.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is Natalie's number 3, which is really her number 4, and my number 4, which we played 9 times.
Pictures, okay.
Yep, and then we played Heist 7 times.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah. We played that with the kids.
And Jeff, your next game stands alone with 6 plays. It's one of your favorite games. What other hints can I give you?
Coin
It's
Blitz.
got a lot of expansions at this point.
Oh.
A lot of them just came out
Oh,
recently.
I know. I know what it is.
Oh my
Is it?
gosh. Is it Whisper Across the Table?
It's not.
Oh, it's not.
not. Whatever she
A lot
thought
of
it was.
expansions recently.
Yeah, I think a bunch of them
gosh.
just came out like
just
on
like-
Kickstarter, like just very
I'm just
recently.
like blurring on games I've ever played. If you were like, what name one game you've played this year? I'd be like,
Okay, it is Chronicles of Crime.
oh, okay,
Oh,
cool.
that makes
Yep.
sense.
Chronicles of Crime, I played that 6 times. Didn't a bunch
Okay.
of expansions just release? Or
Yes,
something
yeah,
like that?
I have them all.
Okay.
But yeah, they all came out, but you can only play like the 1400 one right now. Those are the only ones that are
I
on
see.
the app. But
I
you have all the
see.
materials for the other ones.
Okay. I thought it was interesting. I mean, maybe this is how it is all the time. All 3 of us only have, we all have under 5 games that we played 10 times or more.
Okay. Yeah,
that's why we
that's-
can't complete a 10 by 10.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we did have
Doesn't
one
happen.
this year. I don't know. We're just going to throw that damn thing away at
Yeah.
this point.
Just put it in storage.
Give it away.
A ton of games played only once.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Right, but
That's
just
gonna be
the way-
How
most
we
of them.
do.
That's how we do.
Yeah.
That is how we do.
If we did a 1 by 100, we would totally have nailed it.
yeah.
one game 100 times.
You did it.
No, 100
mean 100
games
by one?
time. Yeah, 100 by 1.
Wow. Oh, so those are the 2020
Cool.
stats for the Gamecasters.
Interesting.
I'd be interested to know. I would have to look at that for me, like new games this year. What were the new games that we played this year?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
2020.
that would
New
be-
to or
maybe-
just new to
Oh,
you?
just new to you?
this year.
Yeah, I didn't have that
I'll-
information. There is a website that I think lists that I think I used last time.
Yeah,
I
I
just
was like,
couldn't
I thought
find it.
You.
Oh,
Okay.
maybe this
that last
game
time.
shelf. There was
I'll look it up.
There was
Yeah.
there was a thing. There was like an
figure it
actual
out.
tool that you use. That's a website, and that's what I was looking for. When I was going through this, and I couldn't find it, so I just got these from Board Game Geek. But there is a tool that does that stuff. Okay,
Cool.
Since we're at the beginning of this glorious new year,
Fine, move on.
we decided we'd take a look back on the resolution we made last year to see how it panned out, and also do a top 5 resolutions list for this year. Okay. So let's just go around the table. Let's go Natalie, Jeff, me. And Jeff, do you want to say what Natalie's was from last year?
Natalie's resolution from last. Do you want me to say yours too or no?
Yeah, well, let's do it when we get...
Natalie's resolution from last year was that she wanted to play what we coined as the whiteboard games. She wanted to play the games that she had only played once. A lot more this past year.
Right.
She mentioned things like Tapestry, Underwater Cities, Castell. So, Natalie,
Two of the three of those.
how did that go? How did playing the one... You can look at the board. It's still here.
Yep.
How did playing the again games go?
I'd say it went
Terraforming Mars is another one you
good,
did say.
not great.
Okay. Good, not great.
Oh, the James Law is being instituted here.
I feel like we definitely did play some, but not nearly as many as I wanted to. We still have a lot of like Castell or Terraforming Mars I want to play again.
Or
I want to play
Tapestry.
Lorenzo, Tapestry, Maracaibo, Mombasa.
She didn't. She almost said
Dan
Cloudspire,
Bassa.
but didn't. She was like,
Yeah.
nope.
Well, that's not mine.
gonna
I don't
say
wanna play that again.
I don't care
Yeah,
about that
Cthulhu.
crap.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
Death May
So
Die.
there's like
That
a
game is
lot
so
that
good.
I'm like, I still have the same exact feeling that I had last year when I made that resolution. Like, oh, I want
can
to play these.
still be
so
on your
I feel like
list.
I didn't complete it.
Yeah.
But I did not totally ignore it also.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like there was like a short window of time at one point this year where we like were doing that a bunch. You know, we were kind of like focusing on
Yep.
that.
You did get it,
agree.
yeah.
And then we like didn't anymore.
Yep. Then we stopped.
Well, sometimes you did like back to like you played Tikenu like twice back to back, or almost
Yep.
3 times back to back. You did that a
that's
couple
true.
times. So that,
like I
that's-
feel like this year I might have played like Grand Austria Hotel or Orleans for the second time.
great games.
Or
hell yeah.
Man.
Underwater Cities or maybe not that one. Teotihuacan.
No, we played Underwater
Played,
Cities.
yeah, played it in Nerdfest.
Teotihuacan. I'm pretty sure I only had played once
Yeah, the
previously.
Gen Con
whatever.
weekend.
Yeah, like Bruges and Trajan and stuff with the
Yep.
Feld.
Yep. We had the Feld
Yeah, so I mean, it happened, but
Yeah.
fest.
I could have done better, and
We can always do better.
yes. What about
No,
the
we
next
don't want to do.
person?
Yeah. Do your number
Do
five.
your number 5.
And then we'll.
Yes.
My number 5? This is not a cop out because of what I just said, but I want it to be the same as my last year's
Okay,
resolution.
yeah,
because
perfect.
Yeah. If
I
that was
still-
only one, maybe. But yeah, you
I
have.
still feel
You have
very
4 more.
strongly that I want to do that.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
And there, like I said, I just right now have a bunch of games that are still on that list that I want to get played. So
And the list was probably going to grow if we were to reassess the whiteboard.
Yeah.
Probably.
Or as my dad would say in text,
Probably.
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 Probably. Hey, did I get you a dick-shaped garden thing?
Probably.
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 Probably did.
Diseased
I
penis
probably
for your
did.
garden?
Here
Probably.
it is.
All right, Jeff. What about you, man?
Jeff. Yes. What was your goals? Well, let me tell you. So I had a couple of them. My first one was play the games that I've only played once over again.
Yep.
I
Copied
mentioned
me.
things like Black Angel. No, I said it first, by the way, on episode 33. Go back and listen. Thank you very much.
Well, I probably thought of it first.
Oh,
Okay.
there
Oh,
we
here
go.
we go.
It's basically like you guys are
did it.
playing the game.
Is Jeff even trying to make a list? or what?
I didn't get to compete with Jeff this
I know.
episode.
Now she gets to yell at me about my list.
Right. Yeah, but
I'm gonna
okay,
say something
I want you to
like
notice
stupid.
something about this real quick. Jeff and I competed today, and he wiped the floor with me. But not one time was I like, oh, well, I knew what the real answer was, or he shouldn't have got that right. In fact, we were such good friends about this competition. He was trying to give me a point back, and I was refusing it. So take a little note from the decorum
What are you saying?
of...
I would have taken the point.
Yes, you would have been said it first. You'd have been like, "Oh, I get that
I get
point.
that.
I get that point."
Same thing. I pretty much said it. A pencil. Remember that one? A pencil. I said it
Yeah,
already.
it's the same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Oh, you get that end of
Yeah.
thing, and you're like, Baba Black Sheep,
man.
what the?
Yeah. So that was one of my goals, was to play games again that we've only played once. So I had on my list was like Black Angel, Castell, Tapestry, Crown of Amara, Underwater Cities. I played a lot of those.
Yeah.
Castell was one I didn't, but I played a lot of games I only played once again. So I felt like I did pretty well on that
Did you
one.
play Crown of Amara again?
Yes, I played it with Devin.
Sweet.
And it's still in the collection. It's hanging around.
Cool. It's
I also
hanging
talked about
around.
my Shelf of Shame games, which at that time was games like Gugong, Pulsar, Crusaders, Euphoria, and Terraforming Mars.
Played a lot of those.
All of those.
Yeah, it was okay. All of them.
And-
Nice.
Terraforming Mars played a bunch, but yeah, I would like to play those again. And then my last goal was pretty much my main goal was to play more games with Devin, which was
Oh, that's all you've been
Yeah.
doing.
100% accomplished.
That is all you've
You know,
been doing.
whether
Check.
I'm looking at COVID being probably one of the biggest reasons we've played so many games, but even now, we talk about let's play a game this week. And we never did that before. So now I'm
Yeah.
calling that one definitely
Nailed
accomplished.
it.
So I'm really happy with that one.
Very
so
good.
this year I came up with 5. My number 5 is from Devin, that she has given me as her New Year's resolution.
Okay.
So she wants to reorganize the games as we move them downstairs for
Okay.
the new game. She wants to reorganize them by color.
Oh, I saw
like
someone
the
do
home
that.
edit.
I almost
Yes.
did that when I redid these shelves. I almost did that. The only reason I didn't was I was like, man, when I get new games, you're gonna have to just
I know.
reorganize them
So
by
I'm
color
curious
every game you get.
if she's just gonna do it once and go, all right, here
Yeah.
it is, and then do some
Yeah,
so
that was the only
Yeah, it's hard to
problem I
maintain.
saw, especially with someone like you and me who get new games a lot. I was like, and that might be tough to.
Then you're
if you got something
shifting.
here that's red, and I'm like, how do I move everything out of the way to fit this in
so
there?
we'll
But
see
it
if
would
that
look
goes
really
or
It would look sweet.
Yeah.
Because I've seen pictures of that. And it
so
looks
maybe
awesome.
for a picture it might end up
Yeah.
being color coded organizing of games. So
That's
my
cool.
number
All
5.
right, Jeff, what was my
Ryan's Ryan said, and quote, Ryan is going to keep his collection under control in 2020 and not buy any new games.
What? You did not say that.
He absolutely
I do
said that.
remember
You're not
saying
going to
that.
buy any
But
more
it was a
games.
joke.
It was a joke because he was laughing right at the end of it. He's like, I couldn't even get that sentence out. But he said he's not going to buy any games, which Natalie pointed out he broke before that even episode because he backed some. He
Yeah,
bought
some,
an
like,
expansion
game
or
that
something.
day. Yeah.
So, but his real one was to get moving on his own game design and
right.
so he had the art kind of going and he wanted to reach out to some publishers. So update us on that.
I do have some updates. Okay, so I had been working with a cousin of mine who's not really my cousin.
She's cool.
Everybody has one of these people, I think. That,
It's
you
like
know,
your like
her name
uncle,
Emily?
your non-blood uncle, like who's married to your blood aunt's like nephew or niece, like that kind of cousin.
yeah, exactly. We saw so
Sure.
we're always together at
We're
like,
cousins. It's
holidays. Yeah, we've known each other forever. And anyway, yeah. So she is one of the most talented people I've encountered
Yes,
in
she
life.
is.
She's in a band called the Crane Wives, and they're they're amazing. You can check them out on Spotify.
Check them out. They're awesome.
They're an amazing band, and she is an incredibly talented artist. And so I had been working with her on artwork for my game, and it had been at a standstill for a long time. And pretty much, I remember right after that episode, I reached out to her, and we had a couple of discussions about doing some more artwork for the game. I think she sent me all the files that she'd had at that point and said that there was going to be time to work on it, but we needed to get together to hammer something out. And we never got together. And then coronavirus happened, and nothing has happened since. I have not reached out to any publishers. I haven't done anything as far as that goes. I really feel like I want to get a working prototype built, which I kind of want the artwork for, so I can send it to the... So there's a lot of stuff that has to happen still, and I have failed miserably at that for getting that done in 2020.
Well, maybe it's 2021 now.
Yeah, well,
It's okay.
What are you going to do? All right, so number 5 for me is I want to create more content for the show. So we put out a podcast currently every other week. I would love to do more interviews. We have done a lot of interviews, but I want to do more. I'm not really even sure exactly why that stopped because I have a few even lined up. So I want to make some more interviews happen that we can release on the. Those are our half episodes that we can release on the off week. Also, more than that, just possibly more content. And I'm not exactly sure what that even looks like yet, but I do know that I just want the Gamecasters brand to be out there in your face, in
Everywhere,
your ear
in
holes,
all Maybe we'll
holes
even-
of your body.
Maybe we'll video ourselves or
Yeah,
something.
and all
or-
nooks.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, so I
yeah.
got the Twitch channel going, which is basically a Gamecasters thing.
We were gonna make a mockumentary about the Gamecasters.
I do have a script
Ooh.
written for that I would like to get going at some points. Hopefully that can happen. So that's my number 5. Natalie, what is
is it-
your number 4?
Or is it a true documentary?
Or is it true?
You'll see.
My number 4 is to be more active on the Gamecasters social media.
I like it.
Good idea.
You know, I decided a few months ago that I wanted to do that, and I kind of like did more and then kind of stopped. You know, it's hard. It's just not I'm not really like a social media person. Like, it's not really my instinct to just take pictures and make posts. You know, I really have to like think about it. And so like, I want to just get into the habit of doing that when we're playing games. I mean, I think we've done more, but I want to do even more. Like Ryan said, more content.
More stuff.
So that's
a
one
good
of my
one.
goals.
That's a good one. All right, Jeff, what about you?
Don't you want to be like? I feel like when I say that to myself sometimes too, Natalie, and don't you want to be like Date Night Dice?
Yeah.
I hold myself to that standard, and I'm like
Like we just
I can
played
never get
Praga
there. I'm not that cool.
Yeah.
And I just can never do that like the way that they do it. They're so incredible at it. But that's how I always think about it. I'm like, what can I do to
just
my
make a
social media
ton of-
page
yeah.
to put more personality in it? Like, I'm taking pictures of games. Who cares? But like, how can I do something different?
Yeah,
So that's cool.
like I mean,
different is
sometimes
always
we'll
what I
play a
wanted.
game and then we put it away, and I'm like, damn it, I didn't take a picture of that. I just don't think about it. Or like,
I'm excited to see the new Gamecasters page.
We'll see. Yeah,
and
maybe
we do
we'll
like stories, but like
rebrand
you
ourselves.
said, Day Night Dice, like it's so like
It's their thing.
it's funny.
they're so much
and
cooler
when
than
I
that.
like try to do it, I feel like I'm just like.
We got to
this
think of
looks dumb,
something that's
or, I
we
look-
got to think
I
of
look
something that's
ugly.
specific to us.
Yeah,
I'm not doing
what's
it.
new to
We're
you?
not going to be Date Night Dice.
Delete that
We're
picture.
not going to be Mad Board Gamer. Let's be
Gotta
us.
find a
Yeah.
unique.
I like it. All right, Jeff, what about you, man?
My number 4 is to, which I'm currently working on right now, is to finish my game room in the basement. And almost specifically is I would like to get a dedicated table to play games on. So whether that looks like a nice game table, like
be sweet.
gametable.com or whatever,
Yep.
who sponsors the show and should send, no, I'm just kidding. So something that is a game table, not like dining room / whatever I want it to be.
Yeah.
This is where we play
Dedicated
games. So that's,
for games.
Yep.
yeah, so
That
that
makes
is,
sense
only
because
for
where
games.
it's going to be is
it's
you're
a
only
game
ever going to use it
tape.
for games.
Exactly. So that's, I would like to
yeah.
get my games downstairs in its own dedicated place and then have a table
That's the
to
dream,
play
man.
games
A
on.
game table. Ooh, that's a cool
Yeah.
resolution. I want that to be mine. Okay, my number 4 is
Just like a
back to
dream.
my resolution from 2020. Is I want to keep working on the game. It doesn't have to get finished. I just want to keep working on it. I don't want to stop. And I feel like, and maybe other would-be designers have had this thing happen to them. I feel like I've been on threads and heard about it. It comes in spurts. It's like you get motivated, and this has happened to me ever since I started designing this game. Is I design for like 2 months straight. And that's all I do. And then I don't do anything for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then it's like 3 months, that's all I'm doing. And then it doesn't happen for a while. So, yeah, I want to keep going. I want to keep
It's
working
like
on it.
exercise.
You got it.
It's like exercise. All right, what is your number 3, Natalie?
My number 3, I just decided a few minutes ago, was to make sure I record all my games.
Yeah. And maybe join the guild.
Maybe. It's up to you.
That's not the resolution that I want.
That I
I
want.
was going to say, I'm like,
My number 3 is I hope Natalie
could
joins the
be.
guild. Good.
cool.
You'll do it.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
Yep.
Yeah,
just
pretty
do it.
straightforward. All right.
Just gotta do it. Just do
I
it.
mean,
Do it.
My number 3 is I would like to do not a 10 by 10 because that's impossible for me at
That's
least.
what we tried
too.
for, like, the last
I would
6
like to
years
do
straight.
like maybe a 4 by 5.
Okay, that's cool.
Devin and
Four
I
games, play 5
Devin and I
times.
both pick 2 games and we try to play it 5 times over the year. Just something
seems doable.
because we're gonna play a bunch of new games and that's just
Yeah.
how we go. We don't do 10 by 10, but maybe something where we play 4 games 5 times or 5 by 5.
I cannot believe we failed literally every single time. During
I've not only failed, like
miserably.
failed. Yeah, like
we
I'm
failed by
looking at
like
it
it's
right
like the end
now.
of January, and
We
we're
have-
like, we don't want to play this
Let's
again.
see.
Yeah.
Out of the 100
games?
games
Oh.
you're supposed to play, we played 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
We're
And-
close.
So this is something I
88
think we
more.
could do, and I would love if Devin picked Burgundy and Grand Austria Hotel, and I picked
Underwater Cities.
Underwater. And we just like that
Yeah.
would be cool to get those games
Yeah.
played 5
Yeah,
times.
Agreed.
Over the
absolutely.
year would be great.
Well,
'Cause
like
that's really all
when
you
we
need.
did that Feldathon, like that was just like kind of like a little way to force us to play these games that we really liked
Yeah.
and wanted to play.
Right. Okay, my number 3, is it me? Am I
Yes,
saying?
thank you.
Yeah, you're saying.
Is to continue growing the Gateway brand. So another
Boom.
kind of extension of the Gamecasters, like more content for the Gamecasters. I want to keep growing the Gateway. We want more members. I'm still looking for someone, if anyone's listening who's a member of the Gateway that wants to get more involved. I am looking for someone to kind of take hold of the Instagram account because I've just found that either I don't know if I'm too busy or I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but it's hard. It's been hard for me to really be all over that. And it's kind of like Natalie, where it's not my instinct is not to go to social media, as I was working kind of hard at it before, and I just have stopped doing that. And so I want to keep growing the Gateway in as many different ways as possible. The Insties is a big way that I'm doing currently, and I want to think of more stuff like that can get people excited about the Gateway. So that's it for my number 3. What is your number 2, Natalie?
My number 2, I guess it's like COVID pending, but I would like to go to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan on a vacation and play games with Sam, Miss French Toast.
Whoa.
Specifically, Sam, play the screw.
Yeah, can you play the screw?
Are you guys
Sam?
playing the screw?
I will come.
I
And
will-
more
oh
than
my
one.
God. I would-
I
And there's the adult tag again.
Oh my god.
That sounds awesome.
Right?
And it'd be cool
We've
if
been
I was
talking about
invited,
it.
I guess, but I
Yeah.
guess we'll see.
I've never been to the
You're coming
UP
soon.
before, even though I lived in Michigan my whole life, and I want to go there. And
it's
she
basically
lives
Wisconsin.
there, and she said
Yeah.
that she'll
Oh, heck.
she'll be our tour guide, and then we can play games with her. So that's
Yeah.
how I made it game related.
That's a great idea. Play
Yeah.
the screw with Sam.
Yeah, play the screw.
Here we go. Jeff, what's your number 2?
Wouldn't it be cool if her number 2 was like, I would like Sam to come down here to play
Yeah,
games, so I don't have to
I
drive
know.
8
Gotta
hours
go
to get
there.
to the UP.
The Up.
I want
Yeah.
to.
So
right.
Get me out of here.
my number, what are we on, 2?
Yes.
2. I'm
yes.
like mixing them all up. Who cares? My number
Yeah,
2
me too.
is to spend at least the first few months of 2021 giving away games that I either just don't play anymore, that I would like to get rid of, that other people enjoy. I started this a few days ago I drove around my hometown, our hometown.
Yeah, this is
and,
cool.
Dropped off games for my students who live in Redford. Shout out, they're not listening. But I dropped off games to a handful of houses that are families who were in the board game club or were in the board game club, and just went and gave them some of my games that I knew they liked that I didn't really care for anymore or didn't want, and just gave them some games to play. And then I did a giveaway on Instagram, and I'm planning to do maybe 5 or 6 more over the next month.
Generous.
Just to selfishly get rid of some games that are taking up shelf space, but also trying to be generous and giving back to.
And we need to make Dan proud of us.
Yeah. I want Dan to
He inspired
say,
all
well,
of
you're
Proud of us,
okay.
Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah. You either love them or you hate them.
Yeah.
I think they're okay.
So yeah, give away some more games.
I
That's
like
mine.
it. My number 2 is to take my top 20 list of board games and play them this year.
Yay.
My 20 favorite games of all
Did we
time.
even play Terra Mystica this year?
I don't know.
I don't.
It wouldn't be on your log playlist, so who knows?
I don't think we did.
I don't
which
think
is
so
I don't
either.
think
And
you did
that's
either.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's messed up.
My top 20 needs to be played.
Even Caverna.
Right. I know.
That's a
only
good
that's
one.
only 2. There's 18 more.
Can I
Yeah.
steal that?
Yeah. Right. So that's my number 2. Natalie, what was your number 1?
Okay. So
You don't have one?
no, I have.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Pass.
We'll stop. Who cares? Just I don't get it.
Oh damn.
Play Ryan's top
Don't
20.
you have it written down?
Yes, but I have the one written down, and then I thought of another one that I like better, and now I can't remember what it
Oh my
was.
god!
Just tell us what's on your paper, and then we
force me
think
to play
about
board
it.
gamer bullshit again?
Yeah.
Oh no, I know what it was. Can I just kind
that
of say
jogged her
two?
memory.
Okay, so I wrote play all games that we purchased on the Steam sale.
The
Yeah, we've
Steam
only
sale.
played Sagrada so far.
Okay.
we were like,
How many did
there
you
was
buy?
probably like 10,
Well, I don't know if it was that many.
maybe like 7.
Yeah,
But we haven't really played
a
any, and
Sagrada.
I like the Steam games better than like playing on TTS because it's not so finicky. It's like more like a app game kind
Yeah.
of thing. So I want to play those. And another thing I thought of was I kind of also want to learn and teach more games this year, since like probably
You
99% of the
Very
games are
cool.
learned.
I'm holding you
I
to
did
that.
not know
that
that
means
was
you're then
something you wanted to
explaining
do.
those games on the show,
Yeah,
because you would have
that's
you
what
would
your
have read the
resolution should
rules,
be.
you would have explained the
I always
rules,
feel
and now you
bad
can
that
explain
you
it
have
on
to
the
do
show.
it all, and I feel like I want to take some of the burden off of you.
I do not see that as a burden, but that is very, very cool. I did not know that was something you were interested in. Awesome.
Now you could do that. You could like surprise him and be like,
Yeah.
"I'm gonna read,
Right.
Lost, whatever the Arnett game is
Yeah.
called, and
Yeah,
you read
with
it, and
no
then
clothes on.
Well, I tried to do that with Tuscany, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just reading the rules of Castles of Tuscany." And he was like, "Oh, I already learned that last
Yeah.
night." babe." I was like,
like,
"Oh,
sorry, I
that's a
learned
good.
it.
That's
I
a
already
good
know
one.
it. Yeah,
was that the
that's
one you had
cool.
written down, or the one you thought of?
I thought of. I'd written down the Steam sale.
Oh, Steam. I have like a side goal of like I don't ever want to play games on Steam ever, because I want this to be over and I want to play in person.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
I see.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm so clunky on TTS anyway. I'm like,
Yeah, it is.
you know,
Well, yeah,
anyway,
TTS and
I just-
Steam are,
They're very
so the games
different.
we bought on Steam are like
those are like those are
Yeah,
like the
they're-
game
Yeah.
drives.
It'll do it
yes,
for you, so
sure.
it's a
Yeah, it
lot
does all
better.
this hard stuff. For
So
me.
my number one, kind of, I guess, that's Ryan would say in that same vein. I want to be able to go to conventions this year,
Yeah.
and I want to be able to do some sort of Gamecaster meetup.
Yeah.
And I want to meet
almost feel like
some
meet
Yeah.
people who we
people.
talk to online who play games with us on TTS or you guys, and
Yep.
just I want to meet our people. I want to meet people
Yes. I
do
and
too.
good. That's a
and go
good
to
one.
convention. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
so I'm hoping that can
Yeah,
happen.
that one will not be your fault if it doesn't happen, probably
Right.
because
Yeah.
of the virus.
The only reason I didn't really put that was because it's a possibility that it can't.
Oh yeah, it might
Yeah,
not.
'cause it
not.
could.
But
That's
I
what
would-
I'm just
I
I'm
agree with
hoping
you.
for.
I would
Yeah.
I agree.
do that.
That is probably the number one thing I would love to do.
Yeah.
My number one is I've been how do I say this? I've been paring my collection down recently. I just did a giveaway
Yes,
of
you
myself. I got rid of about 37 games that I've given to a bunch of people.
Can you even tell?
And
There's a hole right there.
There's some holes. Yeah,
I see
made a
two
dent.
holes. Yeah.
Jeff, you can also see all the games that are pulled out.
Oh,
Those are
those
games
are-
that we have talked about that could go in another
Oh.
one. Yep, there's a lot.
Even
of
some
them.
unplayed.
Yes, some unplayed. Yeah. So that's the thing is,
By Zolkin.
yeah, probably.
so
Poor
funny.
Natalie.
There
hates
goes
that.
the eighth time it's been bought and sold
I
by
know,
Ryan.
Natalie does not like that game. If it was up to me, I'd keep it. But
It's really funny because we like pull out the games that we like are gonna consider like getting rid of a little bit, and so you can like easily, grab them, and the kids keep pushing them back
Yeah.
in.
yeah, and I'm like, no.
Ryan's like, stop doing that. And they're like, why? It's sticking out.
I'm like, I want to stick out. Anyway, so my number one resolution is I want to get my collection down to 150 or less
Shut
by
the
this
front
time
Right,
door.
next
Door.
year.
150, not
Shut
including expansion, just games.
Right, just games. Not
150
including expansions.
How many do you
in
have right
a
now?
year.
255 is what I have right
Holy
now. And that's
So,
37 less than
That
a couple
means
weeks ago.
that so
I
you have
about
how many? 255 right now. So you have to get
255.
rid of 105
105.
games, but also then not accumulating those.
Right.
You have to. Is that net
my
105? You have to lose. you have
at
to.
this time next year, I want to be at 150 at most.
How many shelves is that?
less than that.
Yeah, less than this. So it will drastically change
Okay.
the landscape of both our basement and our collection. That's my goal.
Cool. nuts.
Yeah.
That's my goal. Well, and here's why. Because this kind of goes hand in hand with my number 2, which was play my top 20 games of the year. Or my top
Right,
20.
on your list, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like because I have so many, and because I keep accumulating, and there's
Yeah.
so many options.
The accumulation.
We have to talk about some of these games you have pulled out, but not on the air.
We will.
Yeah, but
we will.
accumulating games, I think, is the bigger issue in achieving that goal, because you could get rid of games, but if you keep collecting them, then you're going to want to play them.
Well, here's the
you're never
thing.
going to do it.
I'm going to do one right now on the show.
Do
Oh my
one
God, this
what?
is a surprise.
One is happening right now. I'm going to pare the collection down right now on the show.
I know, but you keep buying them as
Yeah,
much
listen,
as you.
we just bought one. One that came in that is going to go out right now. Do you have it?
No.
It's yours.
Oh, now I got to get rid of one.
The Castles of Tuscany.
All right, well, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Surprise.
If you don't like it, give it back. I'll do something else with it.
Okay.
But if you like it, it's yours.
Yeah.
Wait, are you okay with that, Natalie? I just made
Yeah.
this decision for both of us.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give it a try.
I mean, well, so that one, that's an example of one that just came in the
And you're
door.
going to give me Praga?
Just came in the
my
door.
God. And dude.
There you go.
Oh, my. This
Honestly,
is an amazing
If
episode.
you didn't have Praga coming, I probably would send it home with you.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Yeah.
I do wanna
Well, just to
that.
play, I would give it
Play
back to you.
again.
That would
I'll
be
play it
good.
again.
Yeah.
But this one, Jeff.
Okay.
The Castle of
There you
Tuscany
go.
in good health is so one down. So I am removing Castles
But
of Tuscany.
Remember, it's in the top 10% of the top 10%.
No, this was
this
was in the 90s.
This is in the 90% of the 10%.
Why is how is she not following this?
I know.
No, Praga.
No, Praga was in the
the
top 10% of the
Okay,
10%.
Yeah.
But I then
Oh,
gave
yeah,
you
yeah,
Catacombs Cubes, so I guess we're.
Oh, shit.
No,
Oh, shit. Okay.
Net
well,
zero.
Yeah. Well, okay. Hey,
No,
I
it's
didn't, I
okay.
didn't
Yes,
get one.
exactly.
true. It's better than.
But that's also an example of it just came in the door. Just came in the door and it's gone. You know what I mean? My
second
goal.
guess yourself.
So what's going to help me? I think is my goal is to the second we play it. If we play it once or twice and we don't like it, it's going. It's not going to sit. Because a lot of the problem was we would get games in, they sit on the shelf until eventually I'm like, okay, I guess enough time's gone by where I can get rid of it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
Not
a lot
doing
of
that
those are
anymore.
like, I want to play it again, and then we just don't.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, it'll be tough. It's going to be this is
Yeah.
number one. So
Toughy.
we're going to get there, or we won't,
Or we won't.
or we'll fail miserably,
Or we'll get somewhere in
and
between.
that's okay too.
Or you'll get to
Yeah.
2022 and you'll have 300 games.
So that's
might.
going to do it for us tonight, everybody. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on Instagram at Gamecasters or at Mad Board Gamer. Both of those accounts service the podcast. We also have a Facebook group. You can search Gamecasters to find us there. You can also email us at thegamecasterspodcast@gmail.com. We have a Board Game Geek Guild. Natalie, have you heard of that? I don't know if you have, but it's 3,
Nope.
6, 7, 8. If you'd like to the show, actually, we would love it if you would consider giving us a rating on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else that you listen that allows you to rate us. All music for this and every episode was produced by Jeremy Pete. If you enjoyed it and want some of your own for your next project, please email us to discuss. So, for Natalie, Jeff the Mad Board Gamer, I'm Ryan, and you have been listening to The Gamecasters. Good night, everyone.